everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Street Fighter League Japan. This is Division S, going into day number 4. We only have one more week after that before we even get to the second part of the round robin. But in regards to the details, we'll get you up to speed. Just in case you hadn't noticed, my name is Vicious, here with St. Cola to break down all of the action. And this is where it becomes critical. We've talked about so many teams thus far. Let's focus on these 6. There's so much on the line in regards to the current points and the standings, which we will get into. In the meantime, St. Cola, what can the folks expect with another week of action here in Division S for Street Fighter League Japan?
Great action all the way through, and it's going to be hard to call who's going to win, who's going to fall, but let's break down how things are going to go down for the rule set. As you mentioned, we have 12 teams that are divided into 2 division groups, Division S and Division F. Round Robin League format returns once again. It's super exciting to see the back and forth. As you mentioned, we'll be able to have these players and teams face off once and twice again, so we'll get to see some run backs and hopefully some rematches. Now, of course, that means the teams will pick, their 3 players, the first, second, and the anchor positions. And that's first to 2, first to 2, first to 3, all the way through, 10 point, 10 point, 20 point, respectively. Anchor position obviously costing the most and being the most comparative one. But as you see up on the screen right here, we have the home and away side as returned. The away side, when you put your characters and players first, the home side puts up second. Home side getting a little bit of an advantage. Has not always been leading to the victory. In fact, the away side has 10 and away side has 10 and the home side has 8. That's kind of wild to see, because you think that having an advantage, being able to see what characters and players are coming up first, will kind of give you that edge to get that victory more often than not, but it's not been happening out here at Street Fighter League this season.
Well, it's definitely going to have to happen here, because 2 of those 3 teams currently in the away positioning need as many points as possible. Currently, when we talked about the lineup, and this has been on the schedule even since, last week, or since the last time we had broadcasted, we do have all the information for you. There are a couple of teams that are currently on the bottom 2, and that is Shinobism Gaming and FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. Actually, the IBUSHIGIN team is currently 4th, and Shinobism Gaming is currently 5th. But they still are below the line to make it into the grand line, I almost said, into the big playoff picture, which could lead into the $8 million, right? Or 8 million yen, to be specific. Not USD, that is yen, maybe 5 million going to the line share. First place, 2 million in second, and $1 million for third place. But we talked about it before, right? When we talk about the away positioning, it really does depend on the strength and variability of the team as well as the characters involved.
100%, you've seen how strategy is, I think, the determining factor out in this team-based tournament, where your positioning in terms of players you put up, characters you put up as well, how that leads to the W. You might have a stacked team of the most top-tier characters out here, but it won't always net you the victory. In fact, we've seen for a lot of these teams, it's not always about who has the strongest characters or even the strongest players. And what it's more about is the strategy that goes into every single match, no matter what side that you are on. And listen, I wish I was on that side right there, drinking whatever they're drinking, because it looks.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the crispness of that? It's insane.
I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of want one myself, man.
It's delicious. But anyway. Because we're all playing for the playoffs, the top 3 teams, as you mentioned, moving on to the top squad. And at the playoffs, we'll have 1 team from each division remaining. With us clears from that, we'll have our finalists that will be moving on to fight the US and EU teams at the World Championship next year. That'll be super sick to see, but we'll still have a few more games to go before that happens. And by a few, I mean a lot more games to run through.
Right, again, this is a double round robin format. We've already discussed the terms in regards to how they can get into the playoffs. We're looking for the top 3 teams, and of course, we also have big incentives for a lot of the players on an individual level. We've talked about this a little bit earlier throughout the season, but now let's talk about it here. We obviously have the Season MVP Award, Rookie of the Year Award, as well as the Point Getter Award for Best Win Rate, and of course, our personal favorite, the Drive Impact Award, being able to collect 50k yen on top to those individuals that happen to claim and actually do their best out there to get some of these awards. And it's kind of a tough ordeal, because there's a lot of different criteria for certain things. You could be a season MVP just based off of the overall win record, sure. but it also ties in with like so many different awards as well, like obviously award for best win rate. Heck, you didn't even have the highest amount of drive impacts, which led into those W's, right? So it's really cool that there are now these types of incentives for the players here at Street Fighter League Japan this year.
It's good to see them being rewarded with that 50 yen per award, giving them more and more to, give them something backing for their W's. Their hard work. It's a lot of hard work out here every single week, or at least every single week, or sometimes with some breaks with CPTs in between. They're grinding out the meta. They're grinding out just this top tier play. They're having to battle it out against these teams that know who they're fighting, or at least have an idea of who they're fighting. It's difficult. Street Fighter League has always been a pretty hard place to have to fight it out. And you have the warriors in between all this. You're traveling out for offline, so it's good to give them a little bit of shine for their hard work and efforts, at least out here in Street Fighter League Japan. But as you mentioned, we're getting to that halfway point. We're getting to see some runbacks possibly. We have to clear out a few more matches before that happens. Today's first match, Good 8 Squad, NagoyaNTPOJA NTP. Two teams that are in the top 2 spots, and I do believe, let me see the rankings right here, how close they are. Only about 15 points away, Good 8 Squad in the lead at that top spot. We've known them to be. They've been Victor out here, Street Fighter League Japan. They have also won a world championship. They'd like to get another W under their belt, get another award. But I think it helps this season that they have the characters that they have been longing for, the spirit animals. You have Rashid that's come out. We have Kawano who finally found a character. It's not a modern one. You have Fugera who has settled on the Bison and Ed in the background. And you have someone who has been sticking with their character since the dawn of millennia. It is Mochi on the Sim. I think that's helped them way more than last season, where they were kind of scrambling to find something, not only just strategy, but like a character that they can identify with.
I agree with that. I think there's a lot of synergy when it comes to this group, right? You have the character variety and also like the complete professional prowess of all these players combined to give that sort of advice, and also kind of help with the studying process, right? And speaking of which, again, Good 8 Squad, they're going to be the ones on the away side coming up first. We had a lot to talk about in regards to their overall performance. Let's get a deeper dive as to who they are. It's Mochi coming in, the monk, the hermit from Shimane, the expert doll sim player that we're all expecting to see go very far in his ordeal as the sim player. Then, of course, followed by Cosmic Costa. It is Fugera coming in with Bison, no longer with the boxer just because he's not available. Maybe Ed, who knows? And of course, followed by the Singularity, Kawano with the ever-impressive Akuma, just still hot on the sticks, or at least the delivery sticks, that is. The Honest Hero, Gachi-kun, coming in with his Rashid as well. We talked about this earlier. Great composition of high-end characters with a very wide, what the heck is that? The mug? That's Fugera. It's gotta be Fugera. I need that. We'll talk about that in a bit. He threw me off.
Let me jump in here. NagoyaNTPOJA. This team is second place, 75 points. Just a wild composition of players, not even just the characters, led by the battle consultant, or at least backed up by one of the best minds in the business when it comes to fighting games. We'll talk about their players as they are in the home position. We'll see if that helps them get the victory. Starting off, super strong. The Daredevil Bounty Hunter looking to claim more heads out here. Mochi on the Akuma brings something new to the table from other video games after mastering them, coming to the streets. Koyama's talent. Otani, not on the Akuma, but has been doing a lot of business with the King. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. After that is going to be the battle consultant. We talked about him. We love him. We know him. It's Tachikawa, only modern Ed, and whatever surprise picks he wants to pull out. Let's see what tricks he has today. But last but definitely not least, it's the hammer bringing down the justice. It's KB, that's a capital B, for Bison. KB leading this team along with the battle consultant. You have also a champion from another game coming to the streets, and you also have the young fiery Ken player backing it up. I love that. I love the energy here from KB. I don't know if it's the stretches or if he's just like excited. Who knows?
I love that, man. Get the hands warm, get the blood flowing. Exactly what you need, especially with what's coming up for for the away side, it's going to be Kumamoto, Gachikun, and Fugera, specifically with Akuma, Rashid, and the Bison play. Now, we talked about this earlier, right? You have a good hybrid, half and half of players that already have had their character in Season 1. Then you have, in addition of Kumamoto and Fugera, kind of transitioning into different characters with both Akuma and Vega. Sorry, with Bison. Now, it's a really interesting thing to point out is how often they actually practice together. I do notice that a lot of these guys kind of do their own like due diligence on a solo front, at least from a streaming perspective. But they're so well in tune and have such immaculate game sense about the game that they're able to kind of like lead each other and figure out how to dissect how to play a new DLC character fast and effectively, right?
Yeah, 100%. Fugera definitely one of those cats that if you put him on a character in a week, but right now, going back to what you were saying about Kumamoto and how he has kind of found that character, he's one of the cats that has found his character, has found his style that he can implement on the character. Is he a typical Akuma player? No, but he has his own style that works very, very fantastically. You know, I like the way that he plays Akuma in terms of he's okay to be in burnout. Maybe he'll spin a lot of bars, put you in the corner. A little bit of Noah the Prodigy in him. But when it comes to like the ideation of this character, I feel like he puts points everywhere in terms of defense, offense. We see his aggression on wake up. It's hard to read when he wants to wake up ODDP. We saw that EWC. We've seen that out here. But he is going up against Otani. I do like this pick. I don't want to see Mochi go up in a mirror match against somebody who is so good at the mirror match overall. Like, Kumamoto has been playing those quite a bit of the Panga League, we saw it at EWC, so why not run something different with the Ken? Ken can definitely go toe-to-toe with Akuma. You have crouching mutant kick that can kind of contest against the walk speed. If Akuma's throwing out fireballs, you'll probably be throwing out OD fireball at that point to cut through. So, like, Ken can definitely go toe-to-toe with that character, and his wing condition is very, very easy to reach, as we've seen over the months and years, I guess I should say, of Street Fighter 6. Any interaction leads to the corner.
As we get ready for the first interview, one of the things to note is that Kumamoto, the last time he played was indeed on day 3 for Division S, where he faced off against Nauman. I think that was the day they were saying like a happy birthday song, right? Either for Ed or Kumamoto, right? Either way. And he had taken him out 2-0, by the way. He completely obliterated Nauman and his Ken. It felt kind of bad, but if that's any sort of like iteration of like what to expect in the matchup, I would take his word for it. Like I would actually take that data for what it is. I would say Otani is going to be the one that's going to be like, I think a little bit more intimidating because of the way that Kumamoto has been piloting this Akuma lately.
No, I agree. It's like you see that and you're like, dang, I hope that's not me. And Otani is the one going up, but maybe it helps that he has that fear now so he can inform himself for this matchup and be prepared and be ready for what Kumamoto is going to present. Like when you see someone get washed like that, you're like, I don't want that to be me. I want to at least be able to fight back. Kumamoto does say, though, our team is on the top right now, but if we lose today, it'll be hard to keep that top place. I'll do my best. So you are fighting a Kumamoto that also understands how difficult it is to climb out of the pit if you're at the deficit. Otani says, listen, I'll just do my best. He saw, as he said, what Kumamoto did for the other Ken player, but usually when someone says, I'll just do my best, and maybe they're intimidated, they sometimes play better out here in the league. We'll see what happens.
Tough spot to be in against someone like Kumamoto. Here we go, game 1, Good 8 squad versus NagoyaNTPOJA. Already up to a great start is Kumamoto. Now he's currently undefeated going into day 4. He hasn't lost a single game. By the way, he is on a 5-game win streak, right? Otani, he has yet to find a single match. He's had a couple of wins in between the team battles, surely. He's kept it very, very close. And he's going to do a lot of damage. Lets the knees fall. Yes, sir. Get the side switch for the Dragon Lash 2. I like this. Otani's got a lot to do, though. Okay. Up until this point. Level 2. We're going to get that. Period's end. Back. Oh, sorry. Crouching heavy punch. Not quite dead.
Wasn't enough. Kumamoto thought so, too. Now you're burned up. But again, he is fine to play and burn out. He thought he could dive kick and clip a limb preemptively. He's hit with the crouching unit kick. Careful now, trying to catch a tech. The trade connects, you'll take that. He had the health to play with. We talked about it. Being comfortable in burnout, something you got to be in Street Fighter 6. Kumamoto willing to do so, even though he wasn't able to get the kill. He was like, I'm not going to panic like I'm on the Titanic. I'm staying fine. I'm not sinking. First round to him. Again, using that bar at the bottom, that utility for that level 2 to get the victory.
You talked about it a little bit too before the match had even started. We talked about the fireballs being a way to kind of set the tone a lot for some of the Shotos. Akuma's been a little bit of a different breed. I think like his fireballs being as fast as they are, also with different variations, being able to hold them, really causes a good amount of grief and trouble in the neutral space that Otani currently wants to occupy, right? He's thinking to himself, maybe I should throw out some of these normals. The big counter hit also from forward medium kick leads to at least a good amount of damage, as well as the spacing retained from Akuma after letting go of so much, right? He was letting go of a lot of that spacing just to get that one combo too. I love that.
Base off the ODDP, just walks back and hits him with his own. This one won't miss. It's a perfect KO. One of the longest perfects I've seen in my life of commentary. But just being able to lock down Otani mid-screen, being able to, you see him like kind of just ducking every so often to not get blown up with the crouching middle kick drive rush, making sure he's not exposed, using the fireball pressure as you mentioned, a lot of variants. Otani getting hit with damn near every single button, it felt like, led to just Kumano having a very clean victory right there. And you see like just the wall of buttons, the fireballs, the confidence that he has in the matchup. Even if he is, you know, on the deficit a little bit, he's still playing with the confidence of having full health, which you have to as a Akuma. Like if you're an Akuma player, you're not gonna have a lot of health after you know you hit like maybe 2 sequences or whatever. But to stay solid in those moments, and then afterwards the next match, be like, I can have a solid game plan with these fireballs, walling you out. You say the space trap and stand light kick, and he found a counter right after. I just like the way that Kumano plays, and Otani not being able to break him down is. You mentioned it like it should kind of happen considering how good Kumano is in the matchup, but I wasn't expecting that much of a beatdown that last round.
It is kind of tough to traverse, right? I think Kumano is such a sound fireball game and understanding of spacing all across the board, but I think it's more so evident when it comes to a character like Ken and how often he gets to encounter this matchup, right? So like he's really forcing Otani to kind of like get into the spaces where Kumano knows he can freely throw out the fireball, right? It doesn't matter if like Ken's trying to encroach on the space. Kumano is comfortable regardless of where you're standing at because he will be the one to expose you. Now, we talked about that exposure. We do have the punish counter as well, but from before that, the low medium kick had connected against Otani in a way where we didn't expect it. Him walking backwards, drive rush forward. I do like the pressure also.
Putting fireball to initiate. Luckily did not get a drive rush stand fierce right after though. One keeps the positional advantage. Perfect parry. A little bit more here from the side of Otani. Oh no, the crouching unit push lays it just a little bit. Adamant fist. Heavy kick Tatsu. Max damage ender. Baits out the drive reversal, but it is -2. Man's at burnout. Just at the level 2 if he wants to utilize that against a fireball. He might just hold tight so he gets his bar back. Just gets a backdoor on the tap parry. Woo-wee.
I mean, it's a little bit of a rough shot considering the last interaction that Otani had against Kumano. After that exact sequence, right? He was maybe expecting a button from Kumano and guessed it all or risked it all on the tap parry, which is interesting because like that wasn't even like close to the same exact scenario, right? Otani was the one that was at a single jab away from dying, so Otani was banking on the trade happening, or at least the frame trap happening in his favor, but not in this case.
All right now, EP does land. Kumano hasn't missed a single one. And the crouching light kick against the crouching middle kick, keeping outside that range of that blessed button that Kim would like to present. Using the walk speed to get in that perfect range as well to throw out the fireballs, making it harder and harder for Otani to hit the perfect parries against them. OD fireball this time for the switch up. Otani blocks it out. We haven't seen a lot of parries. There we go, tap parry. There we go, back with the perfect parry to get some of that green back.
It's so difficult, man. There's so many different variances. And like that, contesting the demon rate also, making sure to punish at least Kumano's decision making, not fully on punish counter, but being able to reclaim your space in your turn after a dive kick up so high is so important in this matchup right now for Otani, right? He needs as many turns as possible.
Otani right now, able to rumble in the jungle right now. With the likes of Kumano in that slow pace style, time is winding down. Damn near 10 seconds. Threatening the demon with the jabs and the fireballs every so often. Will he do it? He walks in a stand light kick back though. Just run. Just back off. Jumps back again. Stand light kick. It's going to be the win here for Otani. Being able to time out Kumano. He's trying to play that lame game. So I can do that too.
I was about to say, you know, if he lands the demon, the timer does not run because he would actually kill him. The tick throw now in the corner. Wake up level 3. I respect it. Give Kawano the unexpected. Sure, it's rather expensive. Sure, it's way less for Kawano to think about, but I do love those surprises.
And plus, you keep your drive gauge up. You kill some of theirs. That's going to help in the less of the OD fireballs from the side of Kawano, just for a little bit. Well, he's back in the green now, but it did give him some chances to back Kawano back to mid-screen. Not close enough for a punish. Stand light kick, drive rush back throw again. All this room to work with. Poking this character with the fireballs. Ooh, able to recover after that stand light kick, get the TB right after it. Back throw. Hold on now, could we be seeing a demon, Vicious?
It's a possibility. Otani very reluctant to even try to throw that. Doesn't need to. Connects with the low medium kick. That's all she wrote. Nice and easy. Didn't even need the rest of what follows after the target combo. Otani on the board. This is the first W against Kawano thus far in his performances in Street Fighter League 3rd Division, as Kawano does show that he can bleed.
God's gonna bleed. Loading fireball to start things off. I'm trying to walk back with a walk-up throw. Beautiful read, but the reversal buttons on wake-up, though. There's some distance to the DP and the fireball. Now trying to get aerial. Anti-air is there. Driver stand Pierce. ODDP can't do that if they have a reversal, but sometimes you've seen the likes of Angry Bird willing to take the ODDP just to take the bar, and he catches the counter in. Enhanced Tatsu for the corner carry and enhanced Oki. Hold this throw. Yo, are you kidding me? The walk-up confidence with the throw, like a stroll in the park.
I love that. I think it's because he set the tone for the first 2 games of how patient he was playing, how much space he was giving Kawano. Oh, I'm loving this too. Battle of the low mediums. Whose kick will prevail? Oh, the uppercut, light kick when you can punch really hard. I get it. Good looks, Kawano.
Kick does hit. That fireball game, a little bit faster with the fireball right there, right after the heavy one. But that crouching medium kick, very confident with this. Otani, perfect parry, but too confident. Back to the corner you go. East side, stand medium, resets from the drive, impact, OD fireball. Wants to get the kill in this ODDP will. Final game, final round. Bar juiced up at the bottom for both players. Means a lot.
That match point for both ends. Standing light kick to interrupt the drive rush. A very common tactic. Now spinning it all again. The scaling might be a little bit hefty, but it's going to be just fine for someone like Otani. Reclaim some of that bar. Does get to manage the life lead, but more importantly, this corner positioning is everything. And Kawano thought the same thing, hence why he was so immediate to bust out with the OD uppercut.
They want to hold the plus frames right after. Finds a sweep, hard knockdown right off the feet. Dash up, delay a little bit, looking for the reversal. Nothing doing. Drive reversal from the side of Kawano. Otani's out the corner and better in the green right now. Better with the bar. Stand Pierce does get the counter at Shinrai.
Oh, no way. There's gonna be hella damage. Oh my god. Don't OD.
Safer option with the drive reversal instead. Drive rush. He does the command grab off the teleport. Oh my god, Kawano caught him lacking. Let's get cracking. Kawano takes the game in the end after playing so patient and lame with the fireballs. How would you expect that option to come through? If I recall, maybe it wasn't Street Fighter League, maybe it was a tournament in like a World Warrior, whatever it may be. But when I saw a similar situation where at the very end, he was like, let me hit this command grab. It's the least you'll expect, and it works out against Otani, who had been setting the tone at the very end, but it's just those options that you would never expect. Maybe you go for like a tap parry, a dash up medium is going to come through. Either way, Kawano, that last extra bit on the table we have not seen, comes out in the very end to clinch it out. Ooh.
That was absurd. That was a little absurd. I mean, like, it makes sense. Not a lot of people expect it, and people are still kind of used to like seeing Akuma's teleport, and the first thing that comes to your mind is like, oh, I'm gonna punish it as it recovers. Right? People are still getting used to the fact that it is now, it now has a command grab ender. But I mean, just look at the precedence being set from Otani, right? Like immediately losing the first game, then taking it to a very, very slow level in game number. Really love the patience and also the maintenance in regards to the spacing against Kawano has been so immaculate, right? He made sure to keep his wits about him at all times. That was unnecessary violence, to be honest. Drive rush forward, teleport, command grab. Are you insane? Yes, you are. And I love that.
Don't go on CFN, y'all. Every cool player is going to start doing that after they see that. Oh, man, is that dirty. And so is Kawano. 10 points on his side of things. Next up is Gachikun. Who do you send up against Capcom Cup champion? I'd personally like to see Tachikawa at the very end. So maybe KB on the Bison. That's what I'm possibly thinking. What about you?
I like the Bison play also from KB. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we've seen that example pretty darn well over at EWC, and this is going to be a reference that is going to continue going on, right? I think the type of range that that Bison can play at against Rashid really neutralizes a lot of the threats that he can play. Like, I forgot who was saying it before. But Rashid players kind of have these kind of normals that aren't necessarily have the most range. But, oh, actually, this came from an interview from Big Bird. He claims that Rashid has the type of normals that can fake neutral. What that means is the normals themselves may not have the exact range, but they're good enough, fast enough to get at least counter pokes and also intimidate you into not pressing buttons in neutral. That's also where the whirlwind comes in and is able to be applied. I think Bison does a great job of being able to counter those counter pokes because of his range, his scissor kicks, and also his driving back goes rather far to stop majority of like the whirlwind shots that some of the Rashid players want to throw out there. But Gachikun is very weird. Is a very weird player. He understands like the ins and outs of his losses. He knows what to do in regards to like fixing them, even if it's against a matchup against a player he's never really gotten to play before. He knows what to expect, right? He won't be throwing out some of the things we're talking about as often or as willy-nilly or as freely. So this is going to be up to KB to force some of the errors, but also be a little bit of a bully with his normals or his scissor kick.
You can do so because scissor kick is hard for Rashid to punish continuously. Like stand light punch is like your button of choice, but you have to be close enough, and it's very, very easy for Bison players to outspace that. But as you mentioned, like Gachikun is one of those cats that like you can see his style develop over and over every time you see him win or lose. Like you talked about the fireball game, like that's I think he's like the best at poking the fireballs, like overall. And if he gets jumped in on once, you will not let it happen. You will not let it happen again. He's just that type of cat where he's like a bit like he's going to adjust. He has the ability to like almost like walk back and kind of force you to jump, maybe thinking that there's a fireball coming through. Hits you with like an OD mixer. But KB, we've seen him work fantastic out here in League. Better than like maybe some would actually expect with the Bison. Some great defensive choices as well. And the fact that your character has an OD cycle crusher to cut through the level 2. Counterplay kind of difficult to do as well from the other side of things. Makes it kind of hard, I think, for Gachikun to kind of establish that neutral. We'll see what happens in the match, though. Gachikun says, against KB, I lost to him last year. I'll take revenge. Since last year, he's been thinking about that. Oh, he eats his cereal, takes his dog for a walk. KB says, we'll go to the top place if we get 30 points today, but there's also a possibility of being last place. Let's hope we don't lose the game as well as the league. Wow, he is getting dark already.
That's kind of wild. There's a fair assessment and also kind of wild. NagoyaNTPOJA is currently at 75 points, so it makes sense.
Anything could happen. We'll see though. It's that fireball play. And again, very pensive with the fireball play. Well, it could be the OD cycle crusher, which there it is. But after the minus frames, hits a perfect parry. Applies the bomb. Back heavy kick continuously for the plus frames. That's Sam Pierce. Scissor kick the perfect distance. KB locking him up in the corner. Air to air with the hell attack. Drops him right back down to the ground. slips in the overhead, gets the follow as well. Another bomb, making pressure for Bison. What a lot of people hate to have to fight.
Man, a very, very explosive round thus far. I mean, just looking at it, clear, near perfect. All that practice that he's had also against other Rashid players like John Takeuchi, we talked about it before from his previous performance. I think that was in day one. KB took it down to like the final game, final round against that matchup.
That's a crouching medium kick though to get himself outside that corner. Scissor kick in the bomb. Look at that. Forced to kind of have to deal with that. Forced to interact, the dash up jabs, no throw, delays it, gets the scissor kick, the throw right after it. Or at the bottom too as well. A good combo. Going after that, and the level 3 will be the victory easily for Bison. She gets that bomb on.
Oh. I love that too. Just staying right behind the star, just in case. You get the bomb. An immediate rebuttal too. Forced to stay put, forced to play defense because of the detonation. KB, drive rushing on in, hella plus. No way. You're hella dead for that. I don't know what the intention was. Maybe he was trying to catch a normal and try to steal, really blatantly steal the turn away.
So risky. That's something we see KB do a lot of, but does me out the ODP though in rebuttal, crouch fierce, Odin scissor kick, bomb right after with the back fist, baits out the throat, nothing after that crouching medium punch, so we'll get the OD cycle crusher in response. Stomp, stand fierce, level 3, victory. KB, and the B stands for Bison. Man, this dude is so good in terms of figuring out what you want to do on defense. We saw him catch the walkbacks with the crouching medium kick. We saw him bait out the OD piece. Yeah, he had a little bit of a squirrely decision right there with that level 1, but overall is pretty damn good at seeing what you're doing on defense and breaking it down.
Funny enough, there's a big smile on Gotsukun's face. And that's also, man, that's such a valid tactic for an opening gambit. Now, I like that too, the decision to kind of go for the tap parry, but going for the overhead absolutely destroys that option. KB definitely knew it. Countering back and also checking the walk back. Maybe the jump perhaps, but either way, it was movement for defense. You might be able to throw and get the kill. Oh, you were dead if you blocked that whirlwind shot. Gatsukun would have died.
What a risky option. Force to interact. Does get the knockdown though. Reversal jabs, and it's KB with the drive rush after for the victory. His defensive timings, even in that situation, are picture perfect. Try to get the soft to bait it out, but the medium mixer is there. Wakes up the lights again. Ungovernable. Okay, I like that. Reversal buttons again. Inside of Gachikun this time. Tick throw. Time for level 2. Here we go.
A little bit too close too. KB opting to just take all of the whirlwind. Couldn't really do a drive reversal, to be fair. Oh, I like that too. A little bit of the stagger. Okay, grab. Oh my god, that could have been it, and it still is. KB taking it down 2 games straight against Gachikun.
This guy, KB, on wake up. In the middle of strings, you don't know what he's going to do, you don't know what to expect, and he gets so much off the majority of his counter hits. That leads to a 2-0 defeat against Gachikun. Even when knocked down, even when given the chance to go for Oki, Gachikun was just not able to put the pressure on like you'd like to see as a Rashid player. And I think part of that actually is because of the matchup where you can't just activate full screen. You have to look for these knockdown opportunities that are more earned than given. Like you just can't back up full screen and just let that sucker rip. So it's even more, I have to stay close to this character and find these moments. And that means you're playing in Bison's favorable zone, I feel like. You can't do the fireball play. Also, the tap parry, it makes sense. You can't answer like you'd like to. Stomp will delete like heavy mix off the table, especially if you are able to time it properly. Yeah, this is kind of wild, but overall, he was making Gachikun be on the back foot more often than not, like tapping parry when he shouldn't with the stomps, and of course being able to convert. After a few mistakes, he was able to realign right after and stay fine. This dude, KB, his Bison is something else. Like, look at this, just a slight walk back, crouching medium punch, opens him up, and finds success. The pop off is there. KB evening things out.
That was very difficult too. It looked a little bit weary in regards to the defensive end. I think DetonatioN had done a great job too with masking his spacing with Isar, and also like what I mean by that is him walking with the Isar really just deflates the threat of the OD cycle crusher, right? Because you're walking and blocking, by the time they're finished with that move and wherever they land, if the tornado's still active, then they'll get punished and hit for it, right? But I think KB taking advantage of the current meta of doing drive rush into a light, where it's plus up to either like throw or even like kind of like walk back. I love the fact that he just kind of like walked back and just went for that crouching medium, which was a very nice and easy type of punish in preparation for whatever was to come afterwards. So that was a really great kind of conditioning that is very well established in the meta, by the way. It's something that's very common right now. So going into it, we have Mochi with Akuma, right? As expected. Or at least in terms of the character choice. Player choice, I thought it was going to be Tachikawa.
I did too. Maybe Tachikawa feels like he doesn't have something for Bison, which is weird because every time I see him on stream, so many times at least, he's practicing against Bison. It's a Manon, it's classic Ed, it's Mono Ed. It's him like practicing at EWC a lot against Bison, so I felt like he would be very ready for this matchup overall. So I was expect Fugera to come up at the anchor. But it's Mochi. If they're sending him up, there must be something that Mochi is doing right now against Bison that they believe in. On paper, it makes sense. I think on paper, it's fine. You cannot stay on the ground. In Big Bird's like recent stream, he was like, if you were on the ground, it's like a 7-3 matchup. Maybe it's not that bad for Akuma. But he's like, when you take the skies, you have that variance with the demon flip, the fireballs, the guillotine for the plus frames, and what comes after, start getting those knockdowns, it becomes a lot more of an even matchup. That element really helps to put Bison on the back foot. He has Crouch Fierce to get anti-air with, but it's predictive. He has Hell Attack, but it's also predictive, and it might get countered with like a Fireball or Ice Dodge if it does come out. The reward is more in favor of Akuma overall. So you're looking for jump back jab instead if you're Bison and your reward isn't that much. I am surprised though to see Mochi. Like, is he prepared though for the likes of Fugera? Is he strong enough to fight someone like Fugera? He is in other games. He's a champion of other games. And obviously for him to be here, he's doing something right. But is he ready for the anchor position?
僕に出てくるんじゃないかなと思って、受けて立つつもりでここに座ってたんですけども、おそらく名古屋側の作戦としては僕のそういうところまで読んでいて、僕がモッチーさんの激烈ファンボなことを知っていて、モッチーさんをぶつけることによって、講義がなくなるんじゃないかなと思ってたんですよ。でも立川ができたのためだけに、スト6で
even outside of that, yeah, he's only played once. Thus far, he has a pretty good track record.
ぶつけさせていただきたいと思います。名付けて
See if we can keep that record up. Get the interviews soon here. Fugera says, I was expecting Tachikawa, but I suspect the opponent knows I'm a big fan of Mochi. I like how he threw that in there. He's like, by the way, I like this guy right here. He's really cool. I like what he does. Get Mochi's side of the interview. Again, I want to like see what Mochi has been up to. We have only seen him once, and his loss was a mirror match against Machibo. So that's the only time we're able to see him. And that's a mirror match. That's already kind of hard. That's like a player-to-player thing. That's kind of difficult to ideate. So I want to see him when he goes up against like another character. Actually, Fugera also says it doesn't make me nervous. Or I'm sorry, Mochi says it doesn't make me nervous. Or no, it is Fugera says that. It doesn't make me nervous. NagoyaNTPOJA. He's like calling them out. My bad. I read that wrong. He says it doesn't make me nervous that I'm a big fan of him. So we'll see if that gets in the way. It probably won't. Fugera, he can leave that to the wayside and just fight it out.
I think a lot of recognition from both friends, right? You know that Fugera obviously recognizes the accolades that Mochi has in regards to other games. Mochi is technically the one that's like the new kid on the block, right? He's the one that has acknowledged someone like Fugera. And to be fair, I think both these cats have been in the fighting
fighting game community for like Lord knows how long right now. So I think they more than just like recognize each other. I'm sure they've had a couple of encounters, a couple of talks, etc. But as it stands right now, this is a different game. This is a different pacing, and Mochi's going to be the one that has to adapt to someone like Fugera, who's been a mainstay in the Street Fighter franchise for so long. Mochi, though, again, haven't been able to get a win for the team. He really hopes he can win today. We'll find out here in the anchor spot.
In the crouching medium kick to start off the party. Sweep for the Oki. Double dashes up. Oh, the back dash. Surprised me. We tried to bait out a throw and get a stand fierce right after. Fugera doesn't bite. Scissor kick spacing is fantastic. If it's not, it's a stand light kick. What's up for a medium kick here from Mochi? Poke pressure is looking good. Got a counter on the stand fierce. That's the lead. Until now.
A little delay on the throw. Being able to dash up and get the media is so important now. Draining a little bit of that drive gauge and catching the Demon Rain on the way down. Not as a punish counter, but still getting blocked and forcing that big rush. Disgusting pressure afterwards. A lot of the buttons coming in from Mochi absolutely getting shattered and countered.
Too much reward. Sweet. Go for a throw this time. No, see overhead, but he's more than fine. It's the back throw instead here. Fugera, only DP the first bust that we've seen thus far. Some of these fireballs, so might be seeing some perfect parries in play soon enough. Like heavy kick. Drive gauge is not looking so healthy. Trying to go for the air, trying to chase him down, but he's out of there. Burns himself out. Now, Mochi, are you comfortable in burnout like Kumamoto? You've got the bar at the bottom. Might be able to hit that Imperium's in or something like that for some damage.
Way high up the mark, too. Perfect time for Fugera to strike his on his turn, excuse me. That was actually mad awkward. I couldn't even tell you how exactly he got that input. I don't think Fugera knows it either. He kind of leaned back in his chair and looked a little confused, a little betwixt, if you will. My man was looking kind of upset too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I will be too. You had the man in burnout in the corner. It was effectively a good game to win right there. Take out his revenge right now. Drive rush back throw. Overhead lands this time. OD scissor kick. Overhead the bomb right after it. Things are adding up here for Fugera, and it could be an app to a W real soon. Can't take a confirm into level 3 right now. We're holding throws, but for how long? Overhead, I like that. Side switch. Plus rain, throw. Oh, the air-to-air. Heavy kick, I should say. It's an L attack. Back throw. No, delay crouching medium punch instead.
Vega wins.
The deliberate timing from Fugera is so hard to catch for anybody, let alone Mochi. Mochi has actually been caught off guard a couple of times over and been exposed to that. I think that's going to be the biggest tell right now for in regards to like one of Mochi's weaknesses thus far. But I do like his offensive pressure, Cola. I think Mochi's gotten a really sharp Akuma since the last time we saw him, right? I think his overall pressure in regards to like keeping somebody contained in the pocket that we're used to in the corner. I think when it comes to like pressuring somebody on wake up has been really, really solid. I like that too. Getting the mix going, low forward into the throw. Normally, off of something like that, I don't know if Bison has an answer, but you kind of want to get it tight with a crouching jab. But I do like that response.
Reversal jab. Okay, getting better with the reversal timings here. Some of these sequences, and also interacting with the bomb properly. Do it early before it goes off. Air fireball committed to that option. Maybe thought you go for like a dash up medium or something. Blessed by the bomb, and again, trying to go for the throw, crouching medium punch into the OD second pressure. The thing is, like, I think his offense is fantastic, but defense is one of the hardest things to learn in a new game. And you've got to be put through the paces continuously. And you're fighting someone like Fugera who is reading your timings immaculately. With a character that will damage you and take half your health every interaction, it feels, but too far for that crouching medium kick to hit. You spin the level 2, and Imperium's in. A follow-up right after this. Like heavy kick.
And that's the character to do it with too. Again, being able to force that whiff. Does the whiff again! Mochi now really starting to feel the power with a character that has such an explosive momentum to him. Not even just with like the movement, but also with like the special moves, right? Especially in the corner. But this walk speed is going to be the main tool is going to be utilized against someone like Fugera. Not the fireball though. He He punished the hell out of that. His timing was so impeccable. That was mad intentional.
See, yeah, that's like the new thing against Bison. Like, the fireball time, people try to impact. We block. No, we get hit with the level 1. Get some space up in this place. The jump in is there. He's back in. Scissor kick, overhead, the back fist again for the bomb. The throw, it's dead. Deader than dead. It's Akuma.
2 games straight for the side of Fugera, but it's been rather close thus far, I will say. Mochi's been doing a great job. There have been a couple of really promising moments, and there are also some other moments where he kind of has like citing certain mishaps, right? We talked about the round that he had lost prior to that one before it was like the game ender. Him committing to a instant air fireball was a pretty big deal, considering Fugera had moved forward pretty fast and pretty quickly, which is a staple of Bison. I think it was just mad unlucky from the side of Mochi. Trying to understand what Fugera's motives are. And that's not even a slight to him. That's just tough. I think that's just unlucky.
A lot of people have cited that for Fugera. Like, whenever they fight him, they're like, it's so hard to read what he wants to do. He's one of the first people to do, like, drive rush scissor kick and catch people lacking, get that counter hit, and people try to press at a certain distance. He's also really good at not getting punished for those scissor kicks as well. Like, his spacing is so good. Yeah, we've seen a few whiffs here and there with the crouching medium kick, but overall, his spacing has been so hard for someone like Mochi to catch. When Mochi's in, he's doing work, but it's hard to get there continuously. The defensive timings, again, have not been so good. Mochi is getting better and better about like finding reversal crouching light punches and things like that, being able to stiff out certain strings on delays, but it's not continuous enough to put Fugera off his game. And then drive impact against the fireball. When that happens, that's a big read against like the fireball pressure that you as the Akuma player have to say, okay, I'm doing things wrong, my fireball rhythm. I definitely have to switch up, whether it be like OD fireball, charge up, maybe fake out a button here and there, but something's going real wrong right now. It's definitely going real wrong right now, as this is game point. Fugera, will he take it for his team? 30 points for the team that takes it today. We'll see who can do it. Mochi's not done that. I feel like it's over for Mochi, though. I feel like he is so close to figuring out what he has to do on defense.
I like that. Yeah, showing a little bit of activity on the ground, too. Again, OD uppercut is always going to throw your opponent off just for a moment. But now it gets completely smothered. Now in the corner, punish counter on the tap parry. You heard it.
Cycle crusher. We went for it right there. We tried to take back his turn, but Mochi went for data. Shimmied again. That's the win. How many times he shimmied up in this corner? That's a stimmy shimmy right there, paying out for a set point scenario.
Damn, that's so much damage. Back-to-back throws, get the drive rush forward again. Enforce the plus pressure. Forward throw once more. Walk up and try to do it again. No overhit this time. Defensive back throw. Nets Fugera a decent amount of damage. Although relinquishing the corner, I don't think it's too bad, especially with a life lead thus far.
And the damage done to the drop gauge too. Do not throw a bad fireball. OD Cycle Crusher in the level 3 will be coming your way. He knows it. Mochi pins him to put down the plasma. No, it's actually just a super. Just let it rip raw. Didn't even need the charge up. And that's the fate. It's like, am I going to go for that? I'm going back and forth. Maybe I've lost my charge. Maybe I haven't. Just kidding. I have the super to back it up. Even Mochi scratching his head. As he is dead, and it is Fugera taking it for his team. 30-10. It's OJA. Wow.
That's so fast, too.
ただこれはそのフゲラベガらしい展開でしたね。
What was that? Player 2 side, right? Player 2 side, is he using a hitbox? If he is, that's actually kind of nuts.
本当目がいいんでしょうね。
I wonder if, so here's two things, two stipulations, right?
Okay.
If he's using a hitbox, he could do like the three frame near instant super shortcut. But if he's on stick on player 2 side, like on your hand, it's much easier to kind of like get the quarter circle forward motion naturally because of how your left hand is formed, like where your fingers are too, and how the stick like rests on your hand. You can actually like, it's ergonomically easier to kind of just get those motions faster without as much restraint. So that's actually pretty good. Either way you spin it, man. Fugera having the right mental to also like expect the fireball And
そう
also
ですね、
the
今回
reacting
も
sport
まあ
too.
控えだったんですけ
Actually
ど、やっぱり一番大事なのはもちろんチームが
It's been drive impact previously, but
まあ
that time
今回
using
も
the
しっか
super,
り
walking back and
30対
forth
10
again to hide the
勝利を
intention.
得ら
Is
れ
it
たという
gonna
の
be
が
an
ま
Odie
あ一
cycle
番大事だと
crusher?
思います。
Maybe that might get blessed, so I'll
ま
just
あ
go
内
for
容
the
としては
faster
すごい
option that will
まあ
definitely
最初
kill.
戦もかな
And
り
looking at
安
the
心して見
actual
れる内容だっ
website,
たんで
it says he's on
まあこのま
leverage,
まみんな
so
で
he had that drummed out,
まあ
as you
次第
said.
5節
Fugera taking it for a team.
みんなの
Big
力で
W
頑
right
張って
here.
いきたいと思います。
Good A Squad
ありがとうございま
continues
した。
their dominance.
はい、ありがとうござい
30
ます。
points in total. Oja does get some 10 on their side of things, but as the season goes on, you definitely want to stop lacking in terms of points. You want to get as many as possible. 40 bombers are definitely what you want more often than not. And it's getting so close that you don't want to have to be in contention with other
練
teams.
習で対戦した相手とか、なんか大会で当たった相手とか、なんか
But
結
the
構多
field
分内容
goal, you know,
割と
Nagoya
覚えてる
NTPOJA,
方
they
で、
actually knew what the
なんか
stipulations were.
だいぶ
Having 10 points to their name, that
1年
puts
前ぐ
them
らい
at
の
least at
CPT で
85%,
大
or
谷さ
85
んと
points
決勝
thus
で当た
far.
った時なんか最後
It's really
生
up
ダ
to
ッ
the
シ
other
ュから
teams to
中
kind
足
of
が刺さってそのまま
map
だったん
them
で
at
す
this
ね。
point with Saishunkan
なんで
Soul not too far
今
behind.
回はしっかりしゃがみガードしてくるかなと思ってラッシュをフォローしたらそれが
A
通
little
ったん
bit,
でなん
or
かしっか
actually
り
pretty much the same.
なんだろう
20
思い出せて
points
よかったで
away.
す。
Shinobism Gaming is currently at 50, and Detonation Focus
いや
Me,
素
they
晴らしい
are
内容でした。おめでとうございます。
significantly
ありがとうござい
behind
ます
to the point where even if
そ
they
して
score
中堅戦となり
100%,
ましたガッ
they
チ
will
選
not be able to
手、
at least
KB
touch
さんとのベガ戦、
second
振り返って
place.
いかがですか？
It really
いや
depends
やっぱなん
on
かす
how
ごい
Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto
僕用
will
の対策めちゃくちゃ持ってこられたなって感じで、
It's pretty
まあ
close
そこに
between
応えれるだけのこっちは
second
実
to
力
fifth
不
place,
足だったなっ
I
て感
will
じがあ
say.
ったんで、
うん
まあまた次もし当たることと
It's
かあ
been
れば、
definitely
やっぱすご
throughout
い
the
こう
entirety
今回
of
み
the
たいに
league,
人見
the
されて
teams
くると思う
are,
んで、
or at least most of the teams have been neck and neck. And of course, anything can change.
思います
But I like that Good A Squad comes up with the energy to get as many
ありがとうございます。
points as
はい
possible.
した。
We're getting the interviews here.
そして
Mochi
大将
says
戦、
it's
本
a
当に今回も
fantastic
見事な勝利
thing
にな
that
り
the
ました。
team
フゲラ
has
さん、この
won.
一戦振り返っ
Really
ていかがで
stable
しょう
team,
か？
and we mentioned that the stability of the team comes from them having the characters. Everybody has what they need for success. They have the characters that they either want to play, that fit them for their play style, or they found their play style in the character that they have picked. Wano says, I remember the past matchups a lot, and from the past memory, I was able to figure out a move that would not be red. I don't know what he means by what move would not be red. I guess he... okay,
was a
never
command
mind.
grab.
The teleport command grab. What am I saying? Yeah. Duh, like,
あれなんだな。
it is one of the best moves you're going to do with the command at the very end right there. And, as you saw people not getting, or people getting got by that. So,
ということ
Gotchku
で改めて実
says
践に向
it's
け
a
て
difficult
最後
game.
リーダーよ
I'll
り
do better
意気込
next
み
time. So he
伺っていき
understands
たいと思います。で
his
は、はい、小
mistakes.
坂さんお願いし
And,
ま
you
す。
know, as you mentioned, he's a grinder. He'll go back
次
to
が
the lab
ど
immediately,
こだったっけ
8-hour stream, and figure out what he needs to
次
do
は
to
イ
be
ブシ
better.
ギンか。イブシギンが多分前半の折り返しなんで、
I actually kind of want to watch that myself too. I mean, I think KB did a phenomenal job of dissecting the matchup and doing a great job of also dissecting the players. Not a lot of people can really break Gotchkun's defense in the way that KB has.
はい。そしてこの後マッチレビューのインタビューの方もガチ
Forcing
選
him
手
to
にお
guess
話を
in
伺い
certain
ますので、こちら
situations
も
that have been very
ご対
common,
応のほどよろしくお願
like
いし
drive
ま
rush,
す。
crouch
はい、という
jab.
ことで、インタビューは
Any
以上に
drive
なりま
rush
す。
light
本日も頑張って
can
く
lead
だ
to
さ
a
い。あり
really
がとうご
big
ざいました。ありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございました。
guessing and like awkward situation between the two. But KB being able to get the upper hand against someone with like the
バグと
most
スカットが
like
これによ
well
って
recognized
30点
defense
今日取ったので、
is a very big accomplishment in and of
そうで
itself.
す
So
ね。
KB again being the only point
圧
getter.
倒的な
Unfortunately
ポイントに
for
なってい
Nagoya
ると。
NTPOJA,
40点近
but
く
fortunately
2位の
enough, we
名
still
古屋
had
NTPOJA に対して
the
つ
rest
け
of
た
the
という
interviews
強い
as
強
well.
いし、
Right,
うん
Fugera? I couldn't even
本当に
show,
こう
or
どん
I
どんどん
couldn't show
こうゲー
even
ム内容を
half
増や
of
してい
what
く
I
と
was
まあいける
getting
か
ready.
ばかりというところ
I hope I
で、
could show
去
it in
年のね
future matches.
悔しい思いを晴
Damn,
らす
so
よ
he
うな
wasn't even
リ
sweating.
ーグ戦。
My man said,
大将戦の
I just got to play
ですけれども、
in a way that was kind of like
してみ
standing.
るとやっぱり早い
There
展
wasn't
開
anything like
早い決
extra.
着
There
だった
wasn't
んですね。
anything
はい
above
プ
and
ゲラの
beyond
消
for
費
him.
ブロック
My man
59
just
しかないでしょ
said,。
3先にもかかわらず
But Gotchku, his ending statement was, next up is IBUSHIGIN, and half of the episodes will be played. That's right, yeah, next week will be the sixth episode mark. They'll get ready to win next time,
NTPOJA と
as
しては
expected
ここ
from
10
somebody
点、まあ KB
currently
がう
in
ま
first
く
place, keeping that demeanor,
つ
keeping
ないだ
that
という
spirit
そうで
alive.
すね。この10点もかなり大きいですからね。見事な勝利になりました。こちらはグッドエイトスカットがアウェー側でまた勝利。ディビジョンイスのアウェー勝利また加算されたんで、ホーム側は本当
Considering their past pedigree, be at that top spot, be at their former glory, and be be where they are expected to when they have the tools that are given to them, right? I think last season, it's a bad season again because you're starting off Street Fighter 6 early, you don't have the characters that you want, but not only just with the characters, but just like the strategy of how they want to play Street Fighter. Kawano, especially as we talked about, comfortable in burnout. Fugera, that man had a full strategy he didn't even implement. He had another form to showcase. He was only in like form 2. You know, he had 4 more forms to go. It's crazy. we'll see what happens with them against FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN a little bit later on, but it's cool to see how informed they are as a player and as a squad. I know Gachikun will be better. And as you mentioned, hope we can go to the stream and watch what he did wrong and where he's just like, I should have did this and that. Get some ideas from him.
Yeah, it's tough. It really is tough to call. I think there were just moments where there's so many situations where it's commonly shown, and it would lead you to a true 50-50 where it's like, do I throw here? Do I press a button here?
ストリートファイターデュエルは2024年3月の27日に配信を開始したスマートフォン
Well, it's not difficult as being able to download this game specifically because it is free. Street Fighter Duel has been making its mark as one of the mainstays in the mobile game market all over the world for very good reason. One, it's got beautiful aesthetics, plenty of different costumes for the characters. And a wide variety of them, which is the reason number 2. There's so many different characters. And 3, the events are non-stop. And speaking of non-stop, we get so many different fighting collections coming out. This one specifically, Capcom Fighting Collection number 2, along with what's coming up later. Man, we have Marvel right around the corner. Just to remind you folks at home, it is a very good time to be a fighting game fan. It's also a really good time to get yourself some snacks and some hydration ready for you. I know it's been really hot in the States. It's very hot still in the Valley too. But just to remind you folks at home, we have another match coming up. 2 more matches at that. Shinobism Gaming as well as Saishunkan Seoul Kumamoto. But I swear to you, when this game comes out, I know for sure a ton of people will be grinding because it is so damn fun. The entire collection, I'm looking forward to it. I know Sincolo's looking forward to it. There's just so much in the world of Capcom, with the fighting game division, and also just overall with the marketing. With that in mind, we'll catch you back with the mainstay here at Street Fighter League Japan. That is Street Fighter 6 Action. More of that coming your way right after this.
この休憩の後にマッチ2シノビズムゲーミング対最春カンソル熊本こちらの対戦の模様をお届けしていきます。再開は10分後の20時8分頃を予定しております。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Yeah, come on, everybody come alive real quick. Battle of the strong, survival of the fit. Take your best shot, hope you don't miss. I ain't never scared, never quitting is the motto. Yeah, come on, everybody come alive real quick. Battle of the strong, survival of the fit. Take your best shot, hope you don't miss. And you can't among us. Take it much farther. Fast with the hands, eat Honda. Defend my legacy with strength and honor. I'm the greatest ever. Come down, see, no one can't beat this. The showdown, this is my arena.
俺は旅を続ける。新しい場所で新しい風に吹かれて、いい戦いをして気分よく飲んで食べて、全く悪くない。一杯おごるぜ。Get ready! Come on! You're down for one more? You're ready for a beatdown? Are you okay? Yeah, baby! Okay. じゃあまたな。
Weekly Street Fighter League Japan Saishunkan So Kumamoto Higuchi
一本目取るかブレード飛び ビド合戦では有利。残りが47秒、十分時間はあるが、ふんじ走り切っている。
時間がこの
うますぎる。ここは SA1 使ってか歩いてくる樋口。いや細かい。これは足りるか。いやー、そして OD 空間を塞いでいく。そして大谷はドライブゲージが1本 OD をはけない。よー奪っていく。様子見きたー。似ている。忍両者の対決どうなる。ドライブゲージが D まで後ろ。そして削りあまりにもいぶしぎな立ち回り。
And we are back with more Super League action here on the official restreams. Senko joined with Vicious. This second match is Shinobism Gaming versus Saishunkan Kumamoto. Let's start off the away side. Shinobism Gaming starting off with the swankiest ninja in the business with the hand signals that lead to I don't know what. Johnny coming through with possibly Masamami Larissa. After that's going to be the grave digger. The grave is dug for you. Fujimura, the man that always goes with what's best in terms of what his character can do. That the Vanguard leading the charge, Yamaguchi on the ed play, has put the DJ to the side, has been doing fantastic with the Psycho Boxer. Last but definitely not least is the Shinobism Prime. Doing fine for his team with that Hajime no Ippo right there. Mochi. Oh, I love the animated features of these players and what they've been doing out in the league. Have been finding a little bit more success recently. We'll see if that can continue today. Third base from Mochi too.
It's kind of wild, man. You had some of those players hit the top 8 over at the most recent World Warrior for their previous week. However, when it comes to this powerhouse scene, they are a powerhouse and not even just a sense of how big their streaming presence is, their popularity in Japan. But more importantly, the most important is their overall presence in the game. These guys are legends in their own right for good reason. Here comes Saishunkan Kumamoto starting things off with the attack on heavy tank that is Fugo, who's been ever so impressive in regards to the adaptations mid-set. Followed by the man who's got all the advice in the world for anybody out there. I don't know if you guys have been tuning into the streams lately, but it is the living legend, Daigo the Beast Umehara. The man with a plan who got #1 in Japan over in the World Warrior recently is the Prodigy. Coming in, this is Higuchi, representing that Guile. All under the tutelage, all 3 of them under the current reign of the Violent Emperor, the Brute King, Nemo. This composition is one of legends, and again, we talked about it before. They are currently one of the best representatives of the FGC for Japan. Look how many ambassadors we have in so many different fronts in terms of all other games too that they've covered in their lifespan in their time in the FGC.
Absolutely. See what happens here. School of Ninjas, what they bring up. An Ed sandwich, but what's in the middle is something we have not seen in a long time in terms of the character choice around the world. Muscle Minor Reset returns to the bouts I know FemShep out there is definitely happy to see this character. I do wonder why we are still seeing this character from Johnny, even though I've seen him practice a lot of Bison. But maybe he feels like he's comfortable with her. He feels like there's something in this character that can still work in the current meta, even though other people have left her to the side. We'll see what happens. That might be something that's hard for the other team to identify and fight against, because who else is playing that character besides Sean? Not too many people.
わかりました。ありがとうございます。梅原選手、号機クラシックでマジかみたいな顔してましたけど、どういう。
Daigo, are you okay? We don't talk about it, brother. He's been giving a lot of life advice lately, man.
先鋒戦ですね。
He's been telling folks about how it's never too late to kind of like start over. And there was a really deep one actually that he released not too long ago. Most recently on his YouTube channel, I got a notification for it. In regards to like his upbringing, in regards to like mental aptitude of being able to like hold down like a regular job, and it's, you know, there is something out there for everybody. I thought that was pretty neat. I'm glad that he's putting out videos like that, because his perspective is a very interesting one, right? He is like the ideal gamer. He's been doing it since God knows how long. Man, if you've read his book, The Will to Keep Winning, he's been doing this since a kid, since he was a kid, actually. And it's so interesting to see that he's been able to keep it up now. Like, most people can't even really, like, feel like they can relate to someone like him. But the fact of the matter is, he's been doing a lot that's been highly relatable, especially towards different age groups, not even just in Japan, but also in the world. It's kind of wild. But talking about the game itself, Yamaguchi with Ed throwing out the Akuma from Daigo Umehara. I think this is a very common thing we're going to expect. I think Akuma can do a pretty decent job of getting around the things that Ed likes to do from a very basic perspective. Flicker is something that really occupies a lot of space. The fireballs can also be something that's pretty good against Akuma. But Akuma can also have waves in the air too to kind of demon raid through certain things. What is happening? He's all right? He's tired.
Yeah. そんな気分です。
You just woke up?
わかりました。頑張ってください。ありがとうございます。いやー。
It would not be Daigo without semantics.
かつて見ないくらいの梅原さんですね。
Yamaguchi's laughing.
チームメイトからのツッコミが面白すぎましたよ。勝てんのこれって。
右腕が。
I wonder what's happening. I really wonder what's happening. Day 2 from Daigo wasn't able to get the W before. I think he's 50% thus far. He played in day 1. He got a W against Yanai, against his Bison. But didn't mean to cut you off on that one. What were your thoughts in regards to the Daigo Akuma versus Yamaguchi and
Honestly, it's just Daigo cutting me off, but I do think that I agree with you in terms of like the demon flip. I think that's a very important aspect of, you know, characters that have difficulty anti-airing continuously, or at ranges where they kind of have to really understand where they're standing at, or we have to work hard to be in the proper space and place to anti-air. You know, Ed can obviously use like the upward flicker, he could DP at the right ranges, but that takes work. It takes a lot more work than you might think, and it's like I have to kill rush back or kill rush forward, or I have to like dash up forward. Well, the Akuma player can just put some variance that it can take the and player down with the quickness. I also think the fireball game is going to be very prominent too as well. Someone like Daigo has a fantastic fireball game. That's why I think even beyond just like the normal matchup, it's going to be helping Daigo. Whatever he is doing right here, whenever he gets back to the game, I think that'll be a very important aspect of the match. I do think that Daigo also, you were talking about relatability. He's been having issues, and he's been open about this, about playing Akuma. He's like, I play in a very turtle-based style, and I can't effectively turn up my volume until a little bit too late. We saw that with Kangaroo when he was in the mirror match. We saw it happen better for him when he was fighting Zaffarino. I feel like he's starting to understand how to pilot the character with not only how the character should be piloted, but in the way that he wants to pilot it, and combining those two factors. So this may be a more difficult match for Yamaguchi. Currently, Yamaguchi has not won a single game. He's only played 2 games. That's not a lot of time to get games in, but he has not earned a victory just yet. Yamaguchi even said, I couldn't even win past episode, but I have to play against Daigo Umehara. I'll just do my best. Daigo had just said, die, 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 you know, like an RPG character. That's how I feel. Teammates are just asking, bro, are you sure you can win? But you know, it's Daigo. With hands on the sticks, it's hands on the man. First game, let's go.
Huh? Sorry, what? Okay. Did you get the punish on the sweeps? Get the forward throw now. Yamaguchi's in control with the corner pressure. rough though. Immediate barrage. You know, it all came down to the corner control coming in from Yamaguchi. He's looking so impressive right now in comparison to the last time we saw Daigo play. He was pretty much running the neutral against Yanai. A whole different story when a character like Ed gets to control so much of that pace and control so much of that spacing as well.
The fireball, like that at different times here. Daigo unawares. So DP plus range. He breaks the throw right after. In the corner. Yanai that gets a shimmy. Hold on now. Warfierce for the counter hit. Knockdown. Double dash up for the throw. Another throw. What's next? Another throw this time with Travis behind it. And a button this time with the crouching light kick. Daigo plays something different in terms of pressure up in the corner. I like this look here from Daigo.
Gets blown up. Yeah, it's really difficult to mess with like someone who's throwing out deliberate timing after like or like different timings with drive rush forward and the standard jab, right? It's been very, very difficult to contest. I love that answer too. Having your turn, being able to just get that throw against Yamaguchi creates a lot of space for yourself and also brings you to the corner. A pretty significant deal.
Ooh, we can't jump on Daigo. He's ready with it. Plus, the stand medium every so often charges up with the fireball, adding some more variance. Take that trade. Interruption with the forward medium kick. I like that. The stoppage. Into the super. Sip that calamity. This is bad. It's definitely a calamity here for Yamaguchi. Dang near no bar to the name. Could be a fireball to burn him out. Almost got the stand fierce. What? Teleporting the throw? No.
I mean, that was a page out of Kawano's book. We thought maybe it could work out for him. Oh, the uppercut, perhaps? No, okay, yeah, the flicker is way more important to look out for the low medium kick. Nice and easy for the rest of the combo. Daigo, you know he's popping off. You know he's popping off too.
I like this activity here from Daigo. Overall, Daigo has been a lot more aggressive. You've seen him like early with Akuma, I should say, not even just Street Fighter 6, but just in general, just a lot more active with the character. The bust out, he's activated. Charge up, fireball, and again with the variance. Slight little Toke Tomera. We're back in it.
Right on the approach, and again a little bit too high, so I like the response from Yamaguchi when he takes his turn. It's been I feel like it's been sort of a theme thus far. Oh, that was kind of sick. It didn't lead to a lot, but it was a cool idea.
Interruption on the charge of fireball. The timings, another bust out. This one works out, you would have died, but Daigo survives. Plus this time he delays. Last time he went for a button, a stand light kick. The interruption is there. Yamaguchi catches him trying to walk in and staves off set point. I know he's looking for that level 2 to pop off with, but he needs to find an entry point. Has to be off for OD.
He needs to find it soon too. This is going to cause a lot of problems later on if you're not able to tech any of these throws. Damn, knocking on the door 3 times too. Deliberate delays on each of those standing jabs coming in from Yamaguchi. Gets a back throw. Again, a lot of the damage, actually all of the damage thus far has been pretty much throws. The exchange against the fireball. Smart decision too from Yamaguchi. This is tough for Daigo. Perfect parry. That's all she wrote too. Nice and easy to Yamaguchi.
Throws adding up, deleting a lot of that life total, putting Daigo on the back foot. And again, how he's been able to anti or deal with the flip, raid, I should say, it takes a lot of work. That perfect parry took him staying at the right space and place, understanding the timing, what Daigo would like to do at that range. Probably going to be a dive kick. Like, I don't think guillotine would work unless it's like a heavier one, and we've seen that checked and challenged, like the stand light punch, and players will use their walk speed just to walk underneath and just kind of jab and interrupt. Maybe not a lot of damage, but it is a way to play as an anti-air approach, at least on the way down either way. But I do like the fact that Yamaguchi is like a lot more steadfast, standing on 10 toes, and he's in the proper space to anti-air, go for the throws, the fireballs, not get blown up. We haven't really seen him drive impact, get some of these buttons, but I think it's kind of hard to read some of these buttons, or even when flicker's coming out, to hit a drive impact. I think it's been difficult to call when Yamaguchi's going for certain options and the spacing, the timings. So even that option that you'd like to do against Ed, that usually blows him up, probably can't be presented here.
It is tough. I don't think there's been a lot of options where Yamaguchi has presented that as a reaction, right? I think majority of the time it's been, specifically for these last couple of rounds, it's been the throw pressure. It's been the throw pressure, and then even if he lets go of it, he'll go into like flickers too to control the spacing. I think his overall presence of dragging Daigo into the corner and the box, the pocket that a lot of players like to play at to keep the corner pressure alive is what's really drowning out a lot of the ideas that Daigo wants to throw out there. But it's primarily, again, bringing it back to basics. If the throw keeps working, why not keep going for it? Yamaguchi's kept it very, very simple at that. Very simple in that regard.
I wish we had an award for how many throws we can get off like a throw loop. I definitely think Yamaguchi will be up there after that. But I agree, like, keep it simple. Like, do not switch it up if it's working, especially when it leads to so much damage overall, like over time. Especially against Akuma. Like, at that point, he had lost the majority of his health. He did leave the corner, but it was like 1 or 2 more interactions to get the W, and like you're setting yourself up for success later on. So what's that going to do on defense when that does happen? Try reversal maybe? We try to jump out, maybe kind of delay a little bit and then look for a jump out or like a demon flip, like a heavy. And if he does get hit, he'll take the damage just to leave the corner. Maybe it will be happening earlier. I'm surprised that we don't see like an early backdash. For a lot of Japanese players, that's usually the way to go in terms of defense against like the throw loops, like in the pressure that comes from that. You usually see after like 1 or 2 immediate backdash. I feel like they're one of the first to kind of implement the defensive tactic, and I'm surprised that Daigo held a lot of those more often than not. But then again, you don't get blown up with a crouching medium punch into OD level 2, so I get the pensiveness. However, final game between the two, defense gonna have to be a lot tighter here for Daigo. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it's very valid. I think that assessment is pretty valid as well. Not seeing Daigo take those defensive maneuvers against the throw, just to kind of even throw it out there as a guess to see how it would play out is a little bit of an interesting ordeal, right? But we'll talk about that another time.
Heavy, able to get the OD right after. Spins the bar to get in. Kill rush. Almost no situation. It's a punish. Daigo thought it. He had set up. Yamaguchi had thrown him so much, so often that the one defensive, maybe possible back throw gets destroyed, defeated. Yamaguchi, well, that bar to bar for that level 2. Back to the corner. How many times will we be in this corner, Daigo?
How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man? That's Akuma. He's gonna take advantage of, but man, I was gonna say not for too long. Daigo actually put Yamaguchi in the corner, then immediately after that, catching the landing against the Demon Raid is so difficult. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 bounce! Send help, look at the damage! The single bounce, the Shin-Dream combo.
Yamaguchi special. Can he answer? Yes, he can. Once a DP, stand fierce, fist to face. And he's out of there in that corner space. It is Yamaguchi with the perfect spacing, the perfect timing for the anti-airs, and making Daigo antsy on defense more often than not. Those throws led to so much in this last game right here. Yamaguchi smiling, popping off a little bit. I know he is super happy to catch someone like Daigo going for like the tech option up in the corner instead of like something like a backdash or rotating. And then when we did see the demon flip, we talked about that. Yamaguchi was like, cool, do that. I'll hit you with a stand light punch. Had the level 2 behind it. That's a danger. When there's a level 2 behind it, whatever, you can jump out. You'll take a little bit of damage like this. But compared to like a level 2 scenario where you see the Shin-Dream damaging this dude, Yamaguchi is ready for everything when it comes to Akuma. He understands how difficult it is to deal with the character. And someone like Daigo, he takes his first game in Street Fighter League.
What a person to do it against. Living legend. I do like the fact that a lot of the players now are really getting acclimated to the options on Demon Raid. At least a handful of them, right? They know what to do when it's misplaced, to walk under, catch the landing, not be afraid of the fast fall nor the slide, right? Still being able to catch the landing frames and still being able to punish is really, really important. And hard to get consistent. But more importantly, yeah, I think a lot of the end players too, not only being able to get the Kuma matchup down pat, but also being able to get the Shin Dream. The more time goes by, the more we'll be seeing that exact combo become more and more common. I think that's going to be like a really beautiful thing to see because, man, it does over 5k damage. If done right, like the single bounce, over 5k damage, you are essentially just one heavy button or one medium button away from building into level 2 again, and it's actually ridiculous. It's actually insane.
ありがとうございます。ネモ選手、ブランカクラシックでの登場。シノビズムゲーミング阿部が上位
not going up at all. It's actually going to be Nemo. I'd like to see Higuchi go up in the last match. But
そうですね。ブランカなんだなっていうのはちょっと個人的にもあって。
I haven't seen this matchup in a while, so I'm not sure how this goes. I would imagine mixed characters can definitely put her on the deficit, considering her reversal options are so good. She dies to lows and throws, and Blanca can enact that quite a bit up in the corner. That level 2 scenario can definitely be dangerous as well. And I'm assuming the neutral can't be that bad for this character. You're probably able to do like the Amazon River Run slide against like a Gladius. Low profile and your buttons are probably going to be pretty damn good against that character when she goes for those high reaching options overall. So I would imagine that's how it goes, but again, I haven't seen it this season at all. I barely ever get to see Marisa and Blanca here from Nemo. A little bit of a treat. Okay.
Feels like season 1. Feels like Big Bird versus Men-RD. A little bit. But we're going to get the interviews going. This is a little bit of a surprise. I think looking into the current roster of Saishunkan, Kumamoto, and the way that they've been playing, right? I think the last time we saw Nemo play was in day 2, playing with Bison. Even in day 1, he didn't find a lot of success. He played in the tiebreaker match, if I'm not mistaken, in day 1 and lost 1 game. And then in day 2, he had to face off against Fugera's Bison in the mirror match and fell a little bit short. So I think I understand his reasoning going into the Blanca right now. I don't think he feels confident enough as Bison, despite how he's been performing. I think he's been doing okay with Bison.
Yeah, I think maybe it's like a his stylistic sort of thing where he is one of those cats that like really take risks, and against Marisa, no matter how quote-unquote nerfed that she is, like she is still dumping out damage. Like that's still going to be a mainstay for her no matter what. So maybe he wants to be a little more defensive with the character he spent more time with, especially in like season 1. Johnny says Yamaguchi got a great win. I was overthinking the last time I played. It was an anchor match when he lost with Marisa. He said, "I'll just have fun today." Nemo says, "I'll try not to get caught by a command throw." He's like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens, but they go command grab me. I'm holding north, not go south. I like that energy, Nemo.
I think that makes sense. I think that's a good way to look at it. like not wanting a command grab? Understandable. Completely understandable. All right, here we go. The matchup we haven't seen in ages. Marisa versus Blanca.
Slide. All wiggled buttons though. Counter hit, knockdown. Gonna go for the anti-air. Knew that it would be way too slow. Tried to go for the command grab. Possibly he busts out. He said, "I ain't gonna hold that." Actually, might be seeing some command grabs here from Nemo if you can find a moment. But right now, feeling like it's a one-touch scenario.
Perfect parry. Nothing to it for Johnny. This is kind of wild too. Johnny hasn't necessarily been like the main point getter for this team. It has also been like a little bit of a character crisis. But Marisa, if he's able to snag points for his team with Marisa, that'll be absolutely huge to set yourself or to set your teammates up.
He's out here having fun. Hard to be someone having fun. Level 2. Hold pair and keep that drive gauge nice and tight. Look at the defense here. Let's get baited. Oh, I lied. Interrupts the drivers with the crouching medium punch. Again, reversal. Crouching light punch has been the name of the game here from the side of Johnny. So he does have level 3 back medium kick. Punish counter. Throw.
very active in that crouching medium punch. I like that, the fact that he's been very stubborn with that normal as of late too. Even watching him on his streams, crouching medium punch just covers so much ground. Sure, it's a little bit easier now to whiff punish, but it's still such a pivotal poking tool.
What if it's also hard for like Marisa herself to punish it? That's why he's like even more willing to throw that out. He's gonna have another bar for level 2 here. We're gonna level 3. Get close to that victory. Even things out and take some of that drive gauge away. One more interaction. Dash up medium. I like that. Into the Gladius to ensure a burnout scenario. If you're Nemo, you're looking for activation ASAP. Off like a stand fears, anything. Get your bar back. Just do it raw. That's fine too.
It's a raw blockable as well. That was a mishap on Johnny's behalf. There's a lot of extra damage on the board too. Set up for the Blankachan. The mix is here because of OD. Being able to refill that. Damn! Watch out for the little one! That was so smart from both ends!
Throw. Bring up the drive rush, stand fierce, but again, Nemo is too fighting and steady against drive rush no matter where it is on the screen, and the damage that could happen to him. Crouching punch. The other buttons we see with like the side, it's all adding up here for success for Nemo. However, Johnny isn't too far off. It was one more interaction that shows to me Johnny knows what to do. Maybe has to deal with the crouching medium punch a little bit different. Perfect carry in between some of these sequences just like this. Gets the knockdown and the corner carry. Superman punch.
Oh, they can run into as well. Take parry. More so going for the setup across the screen, or at least back to the corner. That jump out a little bit awkward for the side of Nemo, but still maintains the side. Oh,
almost got the shimmy.
No. What a choice!
Still jumps out though.
Excellent read against the throw, especially after a negative situation for himself. Oh boy. Standing like it, yeah, nice and easy. Countering some of these big drive rush attempts from Nemo. But now even bigger attempt coming in from level 2. Armor to armor, damn, that was sick. Now you're burnt out.
It's bad. OD, welcome throw, still alive. How long? Oh, empty jump throw from Nemo. May not get command grab, but he will go for grabs himself. And again, we talked about how she dies to those throws. Her armored option will get blown up by those sequences. Nemo on set point. Got the block a bite. Drive rush overhead lands. We've seen crouching light punch come through a lot in the defensive side from Johnny, so I do like the overhead to blow that up from Nemo. Back beauty kick with plus frames, finds hit right after it. Pick up a level 1. Yes, sir, let's get it done. It's not dead though. One more touch. The throw will kill Nemo with a perfect KO.
Jeez. You know, one of the big highlights that we've talked about in regards to why certain players have been dropping Marisa is the sole fact that her defense is just not enough, right? We've kind of complained about that for a lot of other characters too. We talk about like, sure, there are other characters out there that don't have a reversal, etc., but they also have, now that they have like drive reversal, sure, on wake up, but some players, some characters have a viable level 1 to wake up with, right? Even like a level 2 or whatever, right? I think with Marisa not having a level 1 that is like viable enough to get you out of like a throw situation is what really drives a lot of players away from the character. It sucks just being able to get thrown over and over again and not have a solution for it, because on top of not having the defensive options with the meter, her normals themselves are rather slow, right?
It's hard to like do like defensive active things like crouching light kick to catch someone walking back. Other characters can do that, but if you're oppressing Marisa, you don't have to worry about that at all, because her buttons are super small, they're super short, they don't lead to too much. Like crouching light kick doesn't lead to too much if you're walking back. And again, dying lows and throws when you try to go for armored options is unfortunate. And this is why Johnny, you know, is getting absolutely straight up in the corner continuously. Nemo preying around those weaknesses. It's 10-10, another 30-10 coming our way. Final match in play. And as I mentioned, I'd like to see Yaguchi go up. When I've talked with him at EWC, he was very confident in that match. We saw it at EWC. And in fact, he was the one who kind of put me on game to Gao not being that bad against Ed. We saw the reverse happen until Higuchi came on the scene and said, listen, I'm going to show y'all how to fight the Ed boys. I got you. Different variants of Sonic Booms, Sonic Blades, OD Gauge saving for the right proper moments, upside down kick for a medium kick. He has all the proper tools, the tech master himself. I want to see him go up, but we'll see. They may choose Fudo.
I was just about to say it. So, Fudo has experience against Momochi, Ed versus Ed, but not in his favor. Right? As much as I agree with putting Higuchi for this matchup, I think Fudo has the better Ed in the short set. In the longer set, I think it's Momochi all the way. Fudo was absolutely destructive against Momochi over in Topanga League in the first half of their set going into it. So I think this decision makes a lot of sense. Still.
It's one of those, like, you have a lot of data from when you play that long set to acclimate to be better in a longer set. You've also watched Mochi get that top 6 at EVO. You watched him do work out recently at the World Warrior 2. You know what he can do. You have a lot of data to compile against. And we've seen a lot of people take revenge out here at Street Fighter League Japan. Maybe this is more of an emotional one, possibly, but it's one of those where you've taken that loss. Next time, you should be able to take that W because you know what you've done wrong. You have a lot to build upon. So, like, on paper, yeah, Higuchi might be better, but maybe there's, like, that idea of, like, Fudo has been diced up so much that he wants his revenge in a way that it's better to set him up for that, just that sole purpose. And we've seen that be a thing out here at Street Fighter League Japan where someone will come up with emotion like, I just want to win. I want to get my revenge. I want to get my lick back. Like, I want to get my revenge on this cat. I know I can do it, and it's turned out better for them.
I was looking at the stats again. I could have sworn I thought it was Momochi. Sorry, it was Fudo that got it the first round for Group B. No, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Chat, call me out on it right now. Fudo actually got bodied. He got bodied by Momochi in the very beginning. 3-1. In finals day, Momochi bullied Fudo so bad. How bad, Vicious? He bullied him so bad to the point where he had to switch to DJ. Fudo had to switch characters. I don't know if you guys remember that, but there definitely was a switch of characters once Fudo got bodied with his head.
That holds true though. Like, you got bodied so bad, you don't want that to happen again, right? Like, that still holds true to the whole emotional response of, like, I'm gonna win now because you beat me so bad. Yeah. I'm ready for you. If I see you, it's on sight. That's the op right there. Mochi says, Fudo's a rival for me, and after winning to him, everything goes out well. I'll do my best to win. Fudo says, a dream is a dream if you don't get hit. What does that mean? A dream is a dream if you don't get hit.
That's bars. Bars. A dream stays a dream if you don't get hit, man. Dreams don't come true. Is that what you're trying to say? Not for Momochi, but for you? Either he's making sense or he's on that, like, dad sleep, aka no sleep. Who knows, right?
Okay, this all being said, if things do go bad for Fudo, do you think he pulls out the DJ? That is an element in this matchup that could definitely help out. Having another character, do you think he might pull out the DJ if it goes bad? I want to prophesize no demise. I don't think it might go down like that, but he does have that other element, though. It may help.
I don't know, man. I don't think there's enough time to do it, to be quite honest with you. But we'll see. We'll find out. Here we go.
Right after perfect parry, the Sampius gets a back throw. Positional advantage, Fudo on the back foot until he got the crumple still.
This is the kind of pace you could expect even from full screen. Yeah, I like that, canceling the fierce into the kill rush forward. Does get a counter hit. Mochi thought it was going to be his turn to actually press a button upon wake up. No, sir. Spending that bar. I like that little cash out from Fudo. Because he wasn't burnt out too, he had to get that kill.
Saw the bar at the bottom, the dream bar. Trying to avoid that. Trying to stand fierce to pick up right after. The fact that you get the call for the heavy, the OD. Real good spacing and awareness here from Fudo. Yeah, it wasn't only parry, so it was in throw range The tech though from Mochi was a little bit of extra damage. Walk underneath the jabs, trying to find an opening to finish the job. I see the bar at the bottom. Fudo would like to put the Night Quill on Mochi.
Hopefully, man. Maybe they could both seize. Maybe they could both dream. Speaking of dreams. Yeah, nice and easy. Yeah, he doesn't even need to go for the full 8 hours, right? I like that. Interrupting the sleep. He's like, you know what? 20-minute naps are just fine. I'm a dad now.
Except for the dad part, he's just like me for real, for real. Short naps are the best. Anyway. Oh, great minds of luck right there with the flicker. It kind of is. Oh, man. Fudo with the first game, though.
What do you do about this?
Takeouts.
As you're behind the Ed main, right? And then make top 8 at Evo. What do you do about this? When your man is stealing your jib, man. He's taking your cut away from you. You're supposed to be the headline boxer.
Delano still looking like Fudo. It's just like he's so aggressive in the switch up in terms of like what he does after certain things. We saw the charge up stand fierce through the cancellation for like a throw. And again, the timing is just so difficult. Unfortunately, was not able to have the kill switch confirmed right there. That follow up. Flicker again, looking for a button. Looking for extended stand medium kick off the flicker.
Both of these exchanges have been pretty wild, right? I think there's been so many instances where counter hits have been fluttering back and forth between the two. There's been so many moments where these trades can be so big for the other person, but the timing just hasn't been right. And also the normals haven't been exactly precise to get some of these big trade combos. So we do get the counter hit at least. Fudo catching on to the timing of Mochi. And speaking of, yeah, I like that OG uppercut. Oh, that could have been it! Oh, huge exchange too. Forward heavy punch.
Now, if you want to get that pick up with the stand fierce, level 1. Now, Dream combo coming through the side of Fudo. Equalize. Up some bar. Not the best, but hey, you'll take this corner here with the 4 fierce enter. Backdash against the throw. That's what you like to see against the throw pressure. Level 2. The Dream comes for you. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go way more ball. Let me show you how it's done. Knockdown with the ODDP. Oh, able to follow up. Yeah, not close up for like a drive rush follow up. Shorter distance on the character.
Oh, dude, land on it with medium? Oh, it's the heavy version. That's what I was thinking too. Oh no! One more touch. The air to air. Oh, this is so rough. The fireball is just too quick. Excuse me. Too quick to react to. Got the ducks here on the mic too. No, that was actually such an excellent choice too from Mochi to kind of like sit back as soon as he was able to get that established pace, or established spacing, excuse me, to get the fireball going. That was really brilliantly done. Unbelievable too. Fudo now getting the first strike. All tied up in the games, by the way, exposing the low. Still gets the forward though, not a counter hit. Mochi just got caught. So jump on the way over. Knocking on the door a little bit. Maybe trying to tantalize a frame trap towards Fudo. What do you do about this too as Fudo? You don't really have to do much, you still have the life lead. Bam, bam. And the defense has been so on point for the side of Fudo. Big exposure too. Well, Mochi's been caught with a ton of counter hits thus far. He was not willing to sit still. In regards to not pressing buttons when it's not even his turn. That actually just is mad unfortunate though. Fudo taking advantage of Mochi's reaction time. A little bit awkward on the execution, not going to get the full dream, but he still gets so much more out of it, I think. He doesn't even need to dream. This man is wide awake.
That's wide open. Push back, both holding the charge. Fireball to lock him up. The kill rush back every so often. The drive impact. Able to land that beautifully. Catching the timing. Level 2 is going to kill us with a drive gauge as well.
Ooh.
Not the biggest combo, but that right after will be. This is burnout. This is bad. Fudo up in the corner against one of the Barons. A burnout. Use some amount of pressure. Reversal jab. Knocks him down. Drive impact to take the round. The walk up. Get as much bar as possible. Stand Fear starter charge up. Mochi game to game round around with Fudo.
Pretty close knit, right? It seems there are certain moments where Fudo catches the timing appropriately against Mochi, and then there's certain moments where Mochi just can't get stopped on offense. Damn, look at how many counters are from the side of Fudo. Oh man, Mochi's pressing so many buttons.
It's hard because if you're at, like, you have slower buttons, it takes a little bit for them to come out. These ranges, you see a lot of counters coming through from the side of Fudo in the proper area, in the proper space, in the proper timing. Going close, but it's holding parry, so not in throw range. Not threatening at all is Mochi. Live totals winding down. He's to find an opening. That level 2, maybe level 3 at this point. Maybe help out.
Now it's time for Mochi to start chopping down the tree. Fudo's life bar slowly diminishing. Gets the forward throw close to the corner. Actually, right at the corner, too. The flicker. You gotta hold on to all of that. Do it again. Are we gonna ask for another throw?
Trade. It's a big though. Off the bottom. New drive impact. OD fireball back at him. Anything would be significant to kill. For Fudo, he doesn't have much to work with. He does have a level 1 though to finish things off. Find the right confirm. Perfect parry. Drive rush too far out. Fudo the proper range, but he's got to get in. He's the one lacking right now. Level 2, let it rip raw. Just to get the DP, you are so nasty, Mochi.
That was clean. That was so clean, and it's so smart too. We rarely get to see the level 2 be played out in a way to kind of like encroach on the space little by little. But I do love that idea of being able to do that, drivers forward, and then cut into like a uppercut if somebody tries to jump. It's like I think it's like a way worse fireball trap for the opponent, just because the level 2 is just so slow. It's so much slower.
On the
turtle style, excuse me. But when it comes to like utility like level 2, I like people using that not just for like, if I get my OD cycle blitz hit, then I go into like a level 2 scenario. I can be like, if I can kill like this or enforce a reaction, I'll go for it. You know, I'll go for something where it forces you to react or interact with it, and then just easily DP. You see it from like ending walk. He'll use that like when he knows that like it's almost over. Maybe I can get a kill here or put you in burnout. Yeah, it's not as effective as other level 2s like Rashid, but it's still very strong. We have moments where it's just like a one-touch scenario, as you see right there. Mochi, a little bit better off the utility of this character, but I do like the fact that every so often, excuse me, very often has been landing a lot of counter hits. That shows that his timing is really good. It's just the conversions have not been leading to a lot. And for Ed, he's not dumping out a lot of damage unless it's like level 2. He has the bar at the bottom juiced up. You're already not having a lot of damage overall in that match or any match. If you're not landing a lot of these conversions off these counter hits, it's not going to lead to enough to kill. But he is not that far off from doing so, though. Like, he is a few steps, a few closer micro steps ahead to get in to be able to convert into something bigger.
It's just a matter now of keeping that consistency, but as it stands currently, Mochi up in games. At least one. It's going to be very interesting to see how Fudo's going to adapt. I think this is what plagued him last time. I think the current pacing of Mochi, he's in certain like different wavelengths where he's like willing to trade out normals and consistently press the buttons. Then there are moments where he just kind of like backs away and plays to the far end of the screen, and also plays this pacing really well. The back and forth pacing is so hard to predict right now for Fudo. And even as a commentator, it's like, man, when is Mochi gonna like step on the gas? And when he does, it's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Counter hit,
continue. 3 in a row sometimes. But Mochi is on game point. He's been able to dump out a little bit more damage overall and force and act some scenarios where Fudo can't really do much. Death. See if he can keep up that sort of pressure for Fierce. Drive rush for plus frames. Waits for a little bit. Pull him close. Stand Fierce. Can't go for the throw, so I like that adjustment here. And Mochi. Perfect parry and the punish right after. My favorite book. Drive rush right after. Keep the pressure on. Ooh. What's a whip?
Keep him in the corner. Let me see you play out of his pocket, Fudo. Now it's Mochi's turn. Oh, I like that. Just one step ahead, and that was just in the nick of time, too. Fudo with the safe jump, it's a forward throw. Dashing on in there, too. Trying to threaten the range of that flicker.
Backdash away from the throw. This is so tense. There's bar at the bottom. The stand Fierce in the OD just as I was about to mention it. Tuck him in. Close here, DP. You know what? I lied. Hold up now. Hold up now. That's a lot of damage. You weren't lying. And had bar at the bottom building up. Woo.
It's so much damage. Oh, that was so deceptive with the speed. Mochi thought he cleared it airborne.
Ooh, I don't know about this. We're doing burnout. If I can run like the flicker pressure, a lot more positive. Anti-air side switch, stand Fierce, almost got him back with attack. Little box, finds a confirm at level 1. Trying to gain as much time as possible so you get some bar back for like a level 2 scenario. Plus,
perfect parry. If Mochi lands a single OD blitz, yeah, he was looking for it too. He committed to that option. I think that was it. Punish counter, but no, I don't think so. With a button too, with what he pressed, I don't even know. I don't think that would have worked out.
Tesla for the medium. Fireball for the burnout. Fudo didn't realize. It's that chip scenario.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like this. Level 2 once again. This time you're in burnout. What's your rebuttal? Go for the back throw. It's a tech. Tech saves Fudo for a little bit longer. Back throw. Is he going onto the bar? We look level 2 rip. He does. The fireball too quick. It is. It interrupts the level 2.
14 seconds on the clock, and that's it. Mochi falls susceptible to the flicker. He tried to sneak his way in with the forward heavy punch. Fudo stays alive.
Set point. Possibly giving us more games. Push back. Getting the variance with the movement, using that spark every so often. Catch him off his toes, but Mochi stands on business. Trying to go for the throw. Only DP this time, so a backdash. DP again here from Fudo as the anti-air choice. Committed to the flicker. Commit to this fist. OD into level 2. And again, realignment, the 4 Fierce. This man made the dreams. Mr. Sandman himself.
That's more than enough too, coming on in. Has to hold this full sequence into level 1. Yeah, that chip sequence is something he practiced time and time again on his stream. Ladies and gentlemen, the big W finally coming through for Shinobism Gaming. 30 points to their name, skyrocketing them into prime position, knocking Saishunkan Kumamoto down under the qualification line in unimaginable outcomes coming in from both of these teams.
To put someone like Fudo on the back foot where he is in burnout takes a lot of work. I feel like Fudo's one of the best in terms of gaining as much bar as possible. We saw it with DJ. We see it with his Ed play. He's always having something in his pocket just in case. To see him in burnout so continuously shows to me that he is spending too much gauge to try to maybe cut through like OD Fireball or OD Flicker. But also, Mochi has been aiming for that continuously and making the magic happen when that does happen. Using level 2 for utility, using for ground scenarios, to force a reaction that allows Mochi to get the victory. He's such a stable player. It's like his strongest point. He's so stable in every scenario to lead up to level 2. His neutral's really good. Hit confirms are amazing. He's just a stable player in terms of anti-airing. Switching up, like when he does a side switch kill rush, will it be like a throw? Will it be a DP? You don't know. So like, I think Mochi overall, along with the level 2 scenarios that have been enacted at the very end, make him as strong of an end that he is. And I feel like Fudo had so many counter hit options at the beginning, but not at the very end. We didn't see that many counter hit situations happen. That means Mochi's button timings were way better at the very end. That thing that Fudo was good at was no longer presented or able to be enacted upon.
I think it's a fair assessment too. I think that's a way of setting your opponent up. Mochi has been very much so on the conditioning level. I think there's a lot to be said in regards to how the match played out. You kind of like touched upon it a little bit. How the match played out initially to where it actually ended, right? You start to see some of those like slight transgressions of pressing those buttons pretty actively kind of get toned down significantly. And I'm like, where is Mochi trying to play here? Why would he even bother trying to throw out some of these normals here? But I also think there's a lot that came in from Fudo where he was a little bit reluctant to initiate. I think seeing an aggressive Fudo wouldn't have been a super bad play, in my opinion. But that's maybe something for another time. I mean, what we're looking at is a big W from the away side, which is something that's kind of like unprecedented. 2 back-to-back away side Ws. Actually, I wouldn't say super unprecedented because of the stats that we had at the top of the show with the away team having the current win record of 10 in comparison to home positioning getting 8. I think we're starting to see that trend really come to fruition here. I think this is huge too for Shinobism Gaming taking a W against someone so stacked, against a team so stacked. But yeah, it was weird to see like the pacing between Mochi and Fudo before I started like sidetracking. I would have loved to see Fudo kind of like take the initiative a little bit more.
That's like how Fudo wants to play. We've known him to be like a very aggressive player. Like when he's like in the close range to mid range, he turns up. Like he immediately goes in for like dash ups, drive rushes. You know, certain buttons like mediums and things like that with flicker. That's like how he usually plays or any other character in any game, really, to be honest. I've seen him over the years of like Street Fighter 5, for 6, obviously. But we didn't see that here. So like if you're taking someone out of their comfort zone, like that's a really good sign for the other person. I think for Fudo, he has to look back at that and be like, how do I get to my comfort zone? How to get to where I want to play? With the interviews, Fujimura says, really happy we won. The practice worked out perfectly. Fujimura was on the bench. We'll hopefully see him next week. Yamaguchi says, I was training with Fujimura, but just before the stream, like right before the stream, it happened, I forgot to wear the uniform. Wait, it was a uniform. Huh? A special uniform or something? I'm not sure. Or maybe he's meant to wear the uniform during. He's wearing it now, though.
Yeah, I don't think he was wearing it during the match. He was like really up close earlier. Maybe I'm tripping. I always think that's kind of funny. I like to kind of like worry about the uniform. But Johnny getting his interview in. The other teammates won. Now it's up to my win whether we can win the league. I mean, that win was significant enough from Nemo to kind of like force Johnny to maybe reconsider his choices in regards to character selection, I'd imagine. With Mochi, his final thoughts. I've been playing against Fudo a lot. Really great. I was able to read his moves. I think I like that too. That ordeal of being able to 3 out of 5. So being able to play in 3 out of 5 is kind of significant for someone like Mochi. Also says Shinobism is a team that starts slow. Our engines are on going forward.
You saw them not have the start they wanted. You saw them start to call their way up and get knocked down continuously. We're starting to see Shinobism game shine. And I'm glad that Mochi understands it takes a little bit for them to grind stuff out. And obviously with Johnny not having the character that he maybe should be playing, or the strategy that he should be playing with, losses like this are only going to help them be more informed. Be like, we have to do this, or you have to switch to this, or here's your strategy if you are playing this character. I feel like these losses are only going to help them overall, at least for Johnny. But it's a big win for them, 30-10, as you said, over Saishunkan Kumamoto. They're below the qualification line, considering how strong they were last season. It's kind of dicey, but we are only a little bit towards the halfway point. We're not even there just yet, so more time to grind out. More matches to go. Shinobism Gaming could also falter and fall, but with them starting off like this after this match, these matches in general, like Mochi, I don't know. I don't think so. They'll be fine now.
ぜひね、ハッシュタグ SF リーグをつけて、
They got a full like week
チー
and
ム
a
や
half,
選手たち
right?
に試
Because
合
we
の
have
感想や
a
応援コメントをつぶやいてくだ
star-studded
さい。
weekend happening
そして YouTube ツイッチの
over
各チャンネル
UFA,
登
which
録、
we'll talk
SNS と
about
フォロー
towards
も
the
よ
end of
ろ
the
しくお
show.
願いいたします。
But yeah, I mean, like Division S doesn't have to
そして
play
YouTube の
until
シ
I
ステム
think
上、
next
皆様の高評価数やチャットメッセージ数
Friday?
などは
Question
番組の拡散
mark? I
に物理
think
的に大き
we
な
do have a
力
little
に
bit
な
of a
りますの
change
で、
up too
ぜ
because there's
ひ
going to be a
高
lot
評
of
価ボ
players
タン
coming
ね、チャンネルある
to
と思うんですけど、押していただいたり、
UFA
チャットでたくさんメッセージを
I
送って
think
くだ
even
さい。
Division
よろし
F,
くお願い
they
し
play
ま
on
す。
Wednesday. They have that changed up too. For those that haven't been able to check out the schedules up until this point.
我々もすごく喜びますのでよろしくお願いします。
はい、お願いし
As
ま
it is
す。
right now, again, Shinobism Gaming
ここで
getting 30 points to their
お知らせで
name.
す。
Pretty significant
ストリート
deal.
ファイターリーグ
Also
プロ JP
significant is
2024をさら
the
に盛
big
り上げるため
community
に、
back
両
in
ディビジョンにお
all
ける第
of
5
the
節、
Street
第
Fighter
7節
community.、
第10節の後
Going
半戦
in
ですね。
Japan too,
こ
the
ちらで
official
豪
watch
華
party
スト
happening
リ
every
ー
single
マーの
time
皆様に
for
よる
Division
ミ
S,
ラー配
brought
信
to you
の
by
実
the
施が
Japan
決定いた
Full
し
and
まし
very
た。
cheery cast up as
今
well.
シーズンのミラー配信の
All
初回となる
co-streaming.
9月の20日金曜日
All
の
in
デ
the
ィビジョ
same
ン
call,
S の第
actually.
5節目になっています。
I think the
ご覧
bottom
いただい
left
ている豪華なストリーマーの面々とと
is
もに、
one of
ス
the
トリートファイターリーグを
MCs
ぜ
and
ひ楽し
also
んでいただけれ
really
ばと思い
high-end
ます。
players. I forget his
ま
name.
た
I
こ
know
の2
exactly
回
who
目
that
以降
is,
に実
but I
施され
always
るス
forget
ト
the
リーマー
name.
情報やミラー配信の詳細については
that
各
person
コン e スポー
is
ツ公式 X に
Yeah,
て
yeah.
お知らせさせていただきますので、続報を
They're
お待ちい
always
ただ
like
けれ
in
ばと
contention
思
for
いま
like some of
す。
the top spots
ぜひい
for
ろ
like
んな
legendary rank. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to go pro, but they're also usually like emceeing a lot of the Street Fighter events. But a lot of activity coming in for the Latin Japan for everybody. This is going to be happening on the 20th, by the way. You can see it on the top right. Division S, Section 5. These are going to be your special guests for the official watch party.
続い
Be
て
sure
は
to
こち
tune
ら
in
です。
if you guys are fans
先
of any
日
of
公
these
開となっ
folks.
たストリートファイターリーグプロ JP
Thank you
2024
for tuning
特
into
別イラストの
all
グッズ
the
が
Street Fighter League stuff that we've been
本日
having going on with
発売
this
となってい
new
ます。
league.
うん
It's been fantastic as you see the DLC
胸
characters.
元に
It's
特別イラ
super
ストをあし
sick
らった
art.
イン
I
パ
think
クト
actually the
抜
DLC
群
characters
の
are on the
デザインとなってお
left-hand
ります
side, so
商
there's
品の
been
ラ
a
インナッ
battle
プ
of
は
the
T シャツ
DLCs
と
out here, but they
ま
have
あ
not always been able to get the
冬ま
victory.
で
In
この
fact,
リーグ戦
our
続
last
く
match is going to be FUKUSHIMA
長袖のシャ
IBUSHIGIN
ツ
versus
シャツも
DetonatioN
2種類を
FocusMe. Y'all better
販売しています
focus up and
お買い
watch
求めや
this
商品の
last
詳細
bit
は
of
ストリートファ
action
イターリーグ
after
公
the
式
break.
ウェ
Don't
ブ
go
サイ
anywhere.
ト
More
内の
Super
グ
League
ッズページ
Japan
を
will be coming
ご覧
right
くださ
at
い。ということでね、前半に告知千の会というところで僕が今実は
もう確かに
着させていただいております。この特別イラストに、ねなってます。毎度ねかなりかっこいいデザインになってるんで、
そうなん手が込んでるんでね、
そうなんですよね。
まじまじと見る上で、
うん、
買ってチェックしてほしいですよね。
後ろのゲーム画面のなんかキャラクターの組み合わせもちょっと面白い組み合わせがあったりしてるんで、ぜひいろいろ見ていただければと思います。お知らせは以上になります。さあこの後は試合準備のために一度インターバル休憩を取らせていただきます。休憩の後は本日の最終ゲームマッチ3福島いぶし銀対デトネーションフォーカスミー、マッチアップのポイント的にも非常に重要な組み合わせになります。こちらをお届けしていきます。
はい、
再開は10分後の21時13分頃、こちらを予定しております。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Here comes a new challenger! Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics!
今のところ結構ちょっと負けが続いちゃってて緊張しいなところもあって苦しいんですけど、もう迷いはないので頑張らせていただきます。
いったれ。
迷いはないで。ナイス。ナイス。ナイス。ナイス。ナイス。完璧。いいね。いいね。
おいしい。ラッキーおいしすぎる。
あ、オーディ？
ナイス。オッケー。いい止まり。
すごい。
ナイス。
オッケ
ー。これはたまるぞ。お、来るか。どうだ。超えろ。迷いはない。マジか。ドリームは。
はい。はい。はい。ナイス。
ナイスマジで。ドリームの申し子。
やったー。嬉しい。
Right back into it as if we never left. Welcome back to Street Fighter League Japan Division S. Myself, Vicious, with Senko to bring you the final match of the day. FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN stepping up to the plate on the away side with a sunlit rising star. Kicking it off, it is Sasamo. One of our favorite Eds to watch. Followed by FUKUSHIMA's go-getter. It is Yanai, one of the main components, in my opinion, of this team, bringing it all together with that Bison. Then, of course, Daredevil on ice, former professional ice skater, ice speed skater to be exact. It is Kosa with the fiery Ken, followed by their leader, the perfect parry prince, that is Hakeru, coming in with the Bison and Akuma if need be, but every so often maybe you might see that JP receive. Who knows? Either way you spin it, it's one of the more highly anticipated teams of the season, and for very good reason.
The sync-up is crazy, but they're going up against a team with their backs to the walls. Considering what had happened last season, you would think that Detonation would be in a higher spot. But Detonation FocusMe has to live up to their name and focus up because they are at the bottom rung. They won't be there for long. They'll be swinging out today against FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. Let's talk about Detonation FocusMe. Stage first is going to be Mr. Atamal. Machapo, always ready to anti-air or jump in whenever possible. If it's this guy so often, so quickly. After that, he's got an ace up his sleeve. It's the trickster, John Takeuchi, with the mix. Putting people in the blender like a bartender. With that Rashid. After that, it's going to be Jinrai. Will always let it fly. It's Nauman, the Evo Japan champion, and one who knows what it takes to utilize him in the corner. Lead the charge, bet on him because he'll always take care of you. The meal ticket, Inabashi Zangi, capitalized. The Zangi, that character is cooking this season. I need to see Inabashi himself cook this season of Street Fighter League Japan. 18 again. We get a little more somber than usual. A little bit of something here from John Takeuchi, but it makes sense because they are on the back foot at the bottom rung in terms of points. In fact, in the rankings, 35 points currently to their name. Compared to FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN, who's at 65.
This is something not out of the ordinary, right? I think this is something something to kind of consider in regards to how like the history has played out for this specific team with Detonation FocusMe. They've had slow starts in the first half and have done significant changes in their gameplay and also with their team order to figure out what needs to be done to put themselves and propel themselves into like a barely playoff position. But this is what it is right now. Yanai, Sasamo, Kakeru, Bison, and Bison.
では先鋒戦を戦うホームチームの出場選手、使用キャラクター、操作タイプの申告が参ります。ではリーダーより申告よろしくお願いします。
Obviously, from many different angles of the character's power level, the match of spread overall. But we're starting with Nauman. I don't mind this. I would have liked to have a Ken just in general to go off to bat, but I do think that later on I'd like to see Inabashi aim things out. Starting off is going to be Nauman. I guess maybe they'll save Kosa for Sasamo. Because he's so good against the end matchup, and maybe Inabashi for the ender. We'll have to see what happens with later on. Hey, Nauman going up. Nothing wrong with that at all. You know, his Ken has been absolutely fantastic, and I feel like his corner pressure, and when he puts that corner pressure on, is second to only maybe Tokido and a few other Ken players. And that's something that, for Bison, he doesn't want to be at. Like, he hates being up in the corner, doesn't have the reversal, he doesn't have level 1, rather use that for damage, like offense and defense. You don't have a DP, so putting Bison on the back foot and on his back is going to be a big benefit. We'll see though. Someone like, as you mentioned, Yanai understands how to play that character to a T, understands how to play Bison to a T.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Yanai really have that chance to shine other than in day one, and Yanai actually got completely shut out by Daigo at the very end of it too. And all things considered, that was in the Akuma matchup. Right? Now you're facing off against Shoto, who is a little bit different in stature, but also is able to kind of get you into the corner quicker in comparison.
Nauman さん、
Going into the interviews, we're going to get that translation going in, but yeah, Yanai, not really having the best record, obviously only being able to play once. But Nauman, on the other hand, he came from a real significant beatdown
さあ、対するデトネーションフォーカスミ先方、ナウマン選手、こちらも意気込みよろしくお願いします。
I think it was like his second day, right? Yeah. He managed to face off against Otani in his Ken Mirror match. Was the W he's had thus far.
はい、頑張ってください。ありがとうございます。
Going back to the Ken Bison matchup, I think there's a lot to consider. I think
それまでの間、
I think I like the Fireball game a little bit more with
カプセルトイを多数取りそれたスポットであるカプセルラボとカプコン直営店のカプコンストアにてストリートファイター6のオリジナル商品が好評発売中です。2コマ漫画のように見える見る角度で絵柄が変化するチェンジングマグネットが総勢20キャラクターを全3弾に向けて発売しております。カプセルトイでは500円、カプコンストアやオンラインでは税込み550円にて販売をしております。デスクに飾れば周りの目を引くこと間違いなし。
There are moments where like an opponent can kind of like break through the mix-up with doing ODTP. Bison doesn't have that luxury, right?
お知らせは以上です。
Right. Also, like, you're running scissor kick, you have to be extra careful in this matchup compared to like IBUSHIGIN because as most shows have and Kami, that stand light kick is dangerous. There's an easy punish against a scissor kick into corner carry, into that win condition the character would like to have. So you have to be extra on your toes. So like Yanai is probably not going to make that problematic thing for himself. But then you gotta understand that Nauman is gonna be moving around quite a bit to make that space ambiguous. He's not gonna be sitting in one spot every single time. To not be punishable. He's going to be moving and grooving whenever he wants to. And, as you said, enacting that OD Fireball every so often to add more of that variance. OD Fireball also really good against scissor kicks, interrupting it preemptively. We'll see though. I think the buttons though from Bison are pretty damn good. You got crouching medium punch to frame stand fierce as well. Perfect range. It's definitely not lacking in the neutral. Good punish there against the toe tap though. See if there's more perfect parries from the side of Yanai. There it is, nice and close. Plus ramp off the driver's back, heavy kick in the throw right after it. Another one, just go for a throw, back dash. Oh, anti-air. Yeah, it's hard. You know what? Your Bison crouch fierce was too slow.
Yeah, having to rely on the parries or even better defense against the Jinrai. This is the moment where Nauman can really take advantage of Yanai. Overhead, so meaty, able to at least get a crouching jab into a full target combo, just harassing the drive gauge, and it's so difficult now. Yanai is forced to hold the Jinrais.
Counter. That was supposed to be cross-cut DP, but Nauman gonna take advantage at least with a chase down. Yanai back with bar at the very least. Drive rush, overhead, no, back heavy kick. Overhead would have reached, but go for the plus frames instead. Looking for the whip punish, getting nothing at all. Walk up throw. Another confident walk up throw would be a back dash. He delayed just a little bit, blocked it out. Drive by personal offensive style. Plus, you can't press a button. Yanai with that stand fierce into the super. Seal the deal.
It will look to be in full favor at Nauman. That rebuttal just kind of shows you the damage that Bison deals out is only happening off of like some of these small moments, right? That's actually a pretty significant deal. Already gets the bump implant, has to hold that plus strength to continue the pressure. Nauman immediately busts out with a light sequence into the level 3s.
He scaled. Kills that drive cage reversal button immediately. Gets the counter hit combo. Bomb implanted. Back in the corner we go. Delay. Crouching medium punch into the super psycho pressure to seal the deal. Yanai knows what it takes. We talked about the corner pressure here from Nauman. Forget that. Yanai is picture perfect with the Bison. Having the bar to dump out to get the damage done. That's just one here for Yanai. But man, if he's playing like this, it's going to be Nauman's second loss here.
It's hard, man. There's so many moments where like you want to try to press a button, but once like the detonation starts, once the bomb starts to threaten you, it's so difficult to even like rationalize that or even like justify it, to be fair. I think even outside of that too, Yanai's done a great job of keeping his offensive options very ambiguous. Bison able to get throw loops just as easily as Ken, right? Just walking all in there too. Back-to-back throw loops numerous times over.
This makes trap. Then like kicking the Jinrai. The throw pressure coming through here from Nauman. Caught him on the walk back. As soon as he finds a gap, he threads the needle. Anti-shimmy tool. Getting some distance with that crouching mini kick, fantastically done. However, it's almost done. If that would have committed into a drive rush, that would have been the finish right there for Nauman. Don't let it be you, bro. Don't let it be you. Double down with a throw. This time a button. Finds a crouching medium punch. Stole his turn. It might be stealing his life. Stand fierce in a level 2. You know what to do. Cycle. Punisher. That's it, though.
A little bit of a Hail Mary. A little bit too overzealous. The fire does get extinguished. Drive rush up, forward throw. Yanai, back roundhouse does get perfect parried.
That's for the corner carry. Plus, but it's like these delay presses and taking back the turn. Yanai is making it again ambiguous what he wants to do on offense, even on defensive offense or offensive offense.
Call. Forward throw. Hell attack neutral jump position. That was actually kind of slick. Bison players being able to take advantage of that neutral jump while in the pocket is just so effective. His kit is purposefully made for that type of pressure. That is a brutal ender, by the way. Knee on the head and then stomps on it too towards the end. That is real disrespectful. But Yanai popping off a little bit. 2 games straight against Nauman. Nauman is currently on a 4-game losing streak. That hurts, brother.
Especially the way that Yanai is playing, taking his turn when it isn't his. The defensive timing's being too much, and that stand fierce being snuck in whenever. You mentioned that big boy button being utilized in some of these combos. That does like 1,000 damage. Usually that 1,000 damage on like a bigger character is like presented for those bigger characters. The smaller characters get like maybe 800, 900, whatever. But for Bison, it's like 1,000 extra damage dropped out with the super right after. Yanai just knows what to do and what to convert with as well. Has the bar to do so, and also has a defensive read. We saw Nauman try to leave. Hell attack was there, able to punish Shinkai with a bevy of damage. And look at that offensive drive reversal, keep him up in the corner. Just those moments leading to so much. Yanai, we talked about all this corner pressure that Nauman could do, and there was some sequences where that did come through, but overall it was Yanai's show through and through. It's just Yanai just running his gameplay continuously and showcasing what Bison can do when he has that bar. And a bomb, I guess.
It really felt that way too. I don't think there was a lot from Nauman's behalf in regards to defense. I don't think he had like the moments to really call out what Yanai wanted to do. And it's hard, man. Like I couldn't even tell you what the ideal was from the side of Nauman in that instance. Like I know the head stomp upon wake up was an option before from Yanai, and that could have maybe given Nauman the idea to possibly walk forward. But yeah, that was actually like a really rough shot to even try to make that, really try to anticipate that. I think I like that from Yanai. But going with Sasamo's Ed, I like Itabashi stepping up. But it's gonna be Machabo's instead. Okay, I respect it.
の中堅笹モエドに対してマッチャボの大きな登場となりました。
I don't mind this either. I would agree with you to Itabashi or maybe save Itabashi for the very end. But this is fine too as well. You know, again, on paper, good for Akuma. However, I want to see the Akuma players actually beat the Eds. Like on paper, that works out, but the Ed players have been a little bit more studious in taking down the Satsumi no Hado. Like they've understood what the problematic points are, and I feel like it's on the Akuma players to be able to stop that. The onus is on them to stop the obstinance. I feel like Akuma players have not varied up their demon flip timings, the jump in timings enough to put these Ed players on the back foot. Besides, like maybe shoot though. But even then, you know, we see a lot of Ed players being able to survive this matchup. Sasamo definitely one of the most informed Ed players. He has been one to teach people this character even prior to season 2. That the character when he dropped, ran with them, put the DJ to the side. Look at Sasamo's interview out here. By the way, if Sasamo's ever streaming, do jump in his stream. It's very entertaining. He knows very well, like his English is perfect, better than mine, obviously. And he also he's from Brazil, I believe, too, right? Like he's from Brazil. Also, he's from Brazil. Yeah. So he also has 3 languages underneath his belt. He's a great person to watch.
なんか勝ちたすぎるとちょっと焦ったりとかしちゃうので、いつも通りやりつつ自分らしさを出して10点持ち帰れたなと思います。頑張ります。
いいね。
頑張ってください。
Getting the interviews coming in
さあ、
too
両選
from
手には
both
試合の準備
Sasamo
の方に
as
入ってい
well
ただきます。
as Machabo.
その間に、
So yeah, I think to kind of like harp in on your point before talking about Sasamo,
公式サイトでは様々な情報を
both
公開しています。
today and yesterday, a lot of the Akuma players have been falling short to Ed. Let's talk about
キャラクター別
specifics
勝
though.
率一覧など、先ほどハメコさんから
Division
ブラン
S.
カの話も上がりましたけどね。などなど、リーグをさらに楽しめる情報が盛りだくさんになっています。ぜひご覧の方はこの公式サイトも、
Fujimura's Akuma fell short to Sasamo's Ed 2-1, right? So we're starting to see that trend of a lot of the Akuma players not really being able to pull through for the Ed matchup. And it's not even just that. Kakaru playing Akuma lost to Tachikawa. Maybe that's why Kakaru had switched over to Bison. Perhaps, right? But as it stands right now, Ed's been doing a great job against Akuma. But funny enough, I think for this specific division have lost to Ken's.
なのでその上からの攻めをエドが対応できるかどうかがポイントになってくるという感じの組み合わせです。
See what happens to this one. I want to see what Macho does. I mean, his aerial approach is second to none. No matter what game he is focusing on, he is focusing on either taking you outside the skies or getting that fantastic jump to lead to a lot of damage. And Akuma can definitely do that. But it will have to be with like the demon raids, the dive kicks, and things like that. Have to establish with the fireballs first, as we see right here. Macho getting down and dirty with the drive rush. Trade better off. He resets with the flicker, able to get the pickup. Second blitz right after, trying to go for the throw, but the ODP is there for Machabo instead.
What a call out too against the flicker. Hunter parry against the overhead, not meaty enough. Maybe it's too meaty. I guess it depends on how you view it. You'll take that chop as the punish counter against the fireball. The uppercut very delayed.
Walk back, found the whip punch, wasn't even in the same area code for that crouching medium kick. But the fact that Sasamo was able to get that hit and get that punish off, he is very aware of any point of this screen. And that's how you got to play it. Just ready for anything that you see on the screen. You have so much reach, as we see the outboxer. So Akuma has to be able to put down the fireballs, pepper with fireballs first, to walk in, to use those quote-unquote stub your normals, stand medium, outside of distance, stand fierce, 4 fierce.
Up the doors a little bit, a couple of those lights, load forward, check, not really going to catch much. Sasamo actually had committed to the uppercut, thinking he was going to be in time, and I like this early level 3 just because of the fact that you might get that burner. I think you actually do succeed in getting it. No, not quite, but Fireball could do it, right?
Yeah, you're right. Meaty Fireball works out. Sasamo on the back foot. Worked out. Sneaks in the drive impact. Why did he sneak it in? That was actually just doors wide open after delaying just a little bit, looking for a super possibly, but he doesn't have any bar at the bottom. Sasamo with that level 2, a prayer, a fist, and a dream, depending on what he can land.
Oh man, dude, Sasamo's so tentative about throwing out that that flicker now because of Machabo's tendencies to snipe it out with the drive impact. That alone is forcing Sasamo in these really awkward positions of losing the estate because of the kill rush back. But picking it back now, the backdash escaping the throw was so clutch. Can you put the demon to sleep? 2 bounces to get the uppercut. Do it again. Kill rush forward. Set up. I thought that was going to be meaty enough. I mean, it could have been, but the driver versus for Machabo saves his life.
Far to operate with level 2. Periods in. With the drive impact, he actually hits, but does not hit a butt, so don't crumple. Not sure what the lead in terms of bar. Could utilize ODE Fireball if need be, the charge up also. Or just drive rush up the throw right after. Dash up throw again. How will he finish the job? Trying for the throw. Protect though. ODE Fireball covers the approach. Watch by 6. And you see the backing off just above that bar. Play the fireball game. He has a lead. Drive impact. Too close for that in terms of the fireball. Dream team. Sasamo in level 2.
No dream involved, right? There wasn't even a desync. There was actually a moment where he threw out the level 2 just to get rid of the drive gauge. And I love that too. He did that immediately, going past the fireball 2 with the uppercut. What a way to snipe it out. I think that was such a smart decision. Instead of going for the dream combo, he went immediately just a regular level 2 off of standing heavy punch to get rid of the drive gauge and cause the burnout early. Very impressive decision making from Sasumo in a very clutch and intense moment.
Utility, we talked about that. Level 2, being able to do something different with Cycle Cannon. Like, it's not just about doing the dream conversions to get the combo, to get the kill, yada yada. If it would have killed, then like, yeah, aim for the drive gauge to kill right after and force something from Machibo where he maybe have to, as you see, take to the skies, you can hit drive impact. We know how good Ed is when the other person is in burnout. It's flicker pressure consistently, plus as hell. And then you push him to the corner. And even that drive rush and drive impact we saw almost at the end, almost got Machibo. He almost damn near died for that one. Clutch drive reversal. The sequencing here from Sasumo is just next level. And again, we talked about how good he is with Ed. He's been with this character for so long. He has more history with this character than most people, even in the league or in the world. So it's good to see someone who has already solidified with the character, understand even more how to utilize the character and find success. But it's not over just yet. We'll see what Machibo does to realign himself and maybe keep that drive gauge up.
It's
hard to say when Sasumo looked like he was on the back foot majority of the time. I think that one drive impact against the flicker really kind of scared the heck out of him. I think there were pretty significant moments where you could kind of notice, it's like, all right, well, he'll do like a string, he'll do like a normal, like a crouching medium kick, and then into like a flicker, back away, he'll threaten the flicker in neutral, back away again. He's looking for the big moments to see Machibo whether or not he's going to jump, but he also doesn't want to risk throwing it out there in case the drive impact comes out too. Even with that in mind, like in the back of his mind, Sasumo still did a great job of getting rid of that fear and getting that initial knockdown against Machibo. Now it's been Machibo who's not really guessing correctly in regards to like what Sasumo's throwing out in the neutral. So it's really interesting to see the back and forth just based off of that initial decision to drive impact the flicker in the first place. I love the back and forth communication from both ends now.
It'll come down to this here. If Machibo getting another W. I like the aerial approach though. We talked about how the demon flips are a good idea. Some are getting stuffed and duffed. You know, it is happening, but it is a lot more success when it's established on the ground in terms of like the fireball game, the buttons that could be landing, that you could have an aerial game beyond that and add it to that. I feel like when that starts happening, Machibo kind of puts a lot of pause on what Sasumo wants to do. Sasumo's like, I can't throw the button, the recovery's there. I can't throw the flicker, I might get dive kicked. Like, that's tailor-made to delete projectiles off the table. And the fireball, had it reached, could have been real bad, but Sasumo has been staying solid. Perfect parry now. New defensive options showcased. Going close. There we go with the back throw.
Again, he's going with the kill rushes like a bunch, but now that he's getting the flickers established while Akuma's in the corner, I mean, within that certain space, I think that's totally fine for him too. And I like that. Yeah, there was a possible attempted tick throw that Machibo might have thought, but it was indeed a frame trap too to kind of catch the pre-jump frames early. I like that. Perfect parry on the way down to get the back thrown out. Sweet! Damn! Kana moving backwards too in the back roundhouse.
Best tools in the business to do so. Sasumo with the lead. Machibo not a lot of drive gauge. Utilize that means like less woody fireball. Let's drive rush up, drive impact right back. He survives. Sasumo burnout. Knockdown. Still has wake up super. He holds tight. He takes the throw right after. Probably hold tight for a little bit longer, but can't do too much. It is Drive Impact City at this point. Looking for something, counter hit. Oh, he fireball wake up with a button, but nah. Trying to wake up with super. Instead, actually, the fireball was there. Not projectile invuln. That's a good meaty option. Delete that. Any sort of guessing game off the table. Machibo, very, very smart. Saving up set point.
Get the dream. Let me see that desync. No, he dropped it. That's still fine. He gets the rest of the combo. Look at the amount of damage that he gets on top of that. Doesn't desync or not, doesn't even matter.
Kuma, definitely take that. Medium kick though, adamant fist in the level 3. Even better, CA, so extra damage on the way. It's a big goal. For meaty fireball, maybe OG fireball. Oh, he tried to go for it, but it's a DP instead. Sasumo was steps ahead of me and Machibo. Set point.
Love that response too. Machibo had already shown off that card previously. Sasumo kind of like woke up to it the second time around, knowing full well if you try to Meaty fireball me. Damn, that was a meaty dive kick. That hit like his shoelaces. That's crazy.
Okay, with the fireball, finds the overhead. Adamant fist, crouch fierce, fireball. Cross cut DP, can't leave for free. More touch, fireball to chase him down. Amass a little bit more chip. It's almost over. An OD fireball will kill at this point if you're Mochi, but like, how do you land it?
Don't whiff a normal. If you're Mochi, you do not whiff any normal. Hold the plus. Oh, that's more than enough damage too! Oh wait, maybe not.
Oh, also wait for the right moment. It would have been better to hit that super. We'll just let the two right.
You get the burnout.
Put him in burnout.
Oh, never mind. He had time too. If he didn't back jump, he could have had time to set himself up for the fireball. But it's Machobo getting rid of the threat altogether, and that was so tough to manage the ideal positioning to throw out the level 2. He just wasn't fast enough to back up behind it. He actually threw out a regular fireball thinking Machobo was going to sit still and not go for the parry. A huge miscalculation from Sasune.
And that happened right before a miscalculation from the side of Machobo. Able to stabilize himself. The fireball game is back. Return of the Mac here, the side of Machobo. Oh, perfect parry in that sequence. He even blocked out the low. The second hit. Back to mid-screen. Perfect parry from the side of Machobo. Sweet. We go for the Oki. So jump this time. We walk back. ODDP hits a button. It's a recovery of the button. I'm sorry.
Oy. The sequencing all coming together for Machobo too. The overall pressure in the corner is so hard to escape against Akuma when you consider the defensive options that Ed has or is limited to.
Confident walk up here from Machobo. Being able to get the demon flip in the proper range, he gets a stand medium kick. Oh, counter it. Punish kind of throw. Excuse me, OD fireball, even more damage. One shot, one single touch into level 3. Could sneeze. A breeze will kill right now. That's why he went for the OD fireball. Resets with the drive rush, gets a grip, and that's it. It's Machobo putting down a lot of pressure with the projectiles from any point on the screen. And more so on the wake-up decisions. A takedown Sasamo. That's the way you want to play against Ed. I love to see it.
試合目がやばかったですね。2試合目はお互い
There was a lot in consideration of like what Machobo wanted to do in the corner. I mean, like, that's something that just kind of drowned out Sasamo. There wasn't a lot that he could rebuttal it. We talked about the limited defense that Ed has and how he's susceptible to light normals upon wake up. Because again, the fact of the matter is, his OG uppercut doesn't really become active until like the later end of it, right? I think a little bit later on, I think double digits, right? But sure, he's invul for any sort of like strikes or whatever, frame 1. But if you meet correctly with crouching jabs or stand jabs, lights in general, he'll get blown up. So I think with that in mind too, Macho, we kept his offense very clean towards the end of it. But the back and forth in general, right? This all came down to the wire at the very, very end of it. That sequencing is so hard to figure out. Drive rush forward lights for the potential tick throw, you can't jump out of it, right? Because we've seen Sasamo even blow up Macho with that exact same tactic. That is so, it's such a strong point in the meta where it's like, man, I have to guess. It feels bad, but I have to guess.
I guess we're going to win between these two teams. 10 points on both sides, so 30. With the lion's share, another 30-10 match. But who's going to get it? We'll have to see this last match. I want to see Itabashi. I don't think Bison is that bad against Geef. Yes! Give the people what they want.
Oh, heck yeah.
板橋ザンギエフの登場でかけるとの育児、つまりこの安定して待てるようなベガに対してまず
ぶつけるという。We're just absolute fans of the way Itabashi wants to play, the kind of gameplay that kind of goes out the window anytime somebody faces off against a Zangief. Again, one of the few characters that have it within themselves to change the dynamic of how a game is played. Again, Zangief is definitely one of those characters. Guile can also be one of those characters as well. It's very difficult to kind of manage, man, with how much popularity this character has gotten because of the most recent patch. And then we'll be talking about that pretty much the entirety of the season. I think it's pretty relevant to talk about.
I think when it comes to this matchup, I'm low level, so I can't really tell you from my perspective on that aspect. It feels like it's pretty even. Like you have the buttons to contest against Geef, but one bad scissor kick, one terrible scissor kick, it's an SPD. And they just dash up, drive rush right after. Obviously, that's not real Oki, but that's like the damage you want to do as Geef. And then your normals aren't that bad as Geef either. Like you can contest with Stand Fierce, with your crouching medium punch, your stand medium kick also to poke out the character, but he has a good stand medium kick too as well. And they're both the sort of characters that if you get on the back foot, it's flip the coin. So I'm wondering what we're going to be seeing here from the side of Kaku if he has to switch to Kuma, if he stays with the Bison. But Itabashi, man, that guy's a grappler, man. I can't wait to see what he does. He's going to be expending, like he'll go for resets and then little combos and SPD, or to set up for success later on, like putting it different in your mindset where you're like, why do that? Make you think about that for an entirety of a set. In a longer set, I feel like would definitely help out Itabashi, giving him more chances to put more doubt in your mind.
はい、そうですね。なんかみんな残機戦好きそうだったんで、俺全員に行きたかったぐらいなんですけどね。おお、なるほど。行けないんでね。ちょっとここ行かせてもらいましたね。もう俺とお前の勝負だと思って。頑張ります。
わかりました。
頑張ってください。
頑張ってください。
I'm actually quite curious to see what that whole commotion was about. But talking about it right now, Kakadu in his interview against Detonation FocusMe was expecting Zangief, but imagining playing against Zangief and being unable to sleep. I would also lose sleep if I had to be on the stage and have to face off against one of the best to ever do it with a grappler. 1000%. And I'd imagine Itabashi has some sort of funny rebuttal. Yeah, of course. Everyone loves playing against Geef, so I wanted to go for every game. That's not the end of the statement, but that's just the beginning. That's what caught the attention of the commentators at first. We'll get the rest of that. This guy's a madman.
He said, listen, I can only go one game, so I'll be the anchor. That was kind of finishing off his thought process. Itabashi, you're wrong in saying that, especially Nemo. I don't think anybody likes to go against Geef, and especially your Geef. It's so different with the gambler style. Let's see if the house will win. Kakuru can walk away with the lion's share of the points in his pocket. Final game.
A lot of deliberation too up to that point. It is on. I think he made the right assessment too with that drive rush into like early crouch jab. As Kakadu had looked like he'd been waiting for the green stuff to come through, the punish against the sweep. Yes, sir, a light punish at that. It is on starting to implement the neutral jumps too. A very strong tool against Bison players, in Bison's kit in general, actually.
That jump medium kick is really good to utilize like a dive kick, but the perfect parry, as soon as I say that, is too ready. Kakadu is like, I've dealt with that, I've been through that, I've been thinking about that. And the lack of sleep. That heavy kick, hella plus right now. The way to rebuttal, it's just an 8 defense with a crouching light kick to try to find a little bit more. No counter it though. Stand fierce, drive impact against that. OD. Scissor kick, stand fierce in level 2. Oh yeah, you already know. Punisher right there to finish the job. Well spent in terms of bar usage. And well done against the stand fierce. A good call out right there. Drive impact.
All right, you 2 bars to your name. An immediate drive rush forward into the standing medium punch. Kakadu not going to bite for it as soon as he sees green. Now he's going to be like pumping the brakes. Once Kakadu gets his opening, of course, he's going to be the one that's exploding onto the scene. Man, these rebuttals have been back and forth thus far. It is on. They're taking a lot of liberties with some of these neutral jumps. Standing light kick into OD, running bear grab. And now the churning begins.
Make it some butter. It is on. Knocked off the feet, but I see that bar at the bottom. You probably like to save that, but you'll utilize it right now, only for my fans. Everyone watching at home. Catch this cutscene. Grip of damage. However, level 3 spent in round 2 and not round 3 is kind of beneficial for Kakadu. I mean, that's less you have to worry about in terms of damage dealing for the side of Itabashi. Level 3 on his side.
Oh, that's gotta be more than enough. OD's Psycho Mine into level 3. Already way past the yellow. Doesn't even matter if he's got big boy health. Bison's got big boy damage. First game going to Kakeru.
I say the timing here with Kakeru has been fantastic. The sister kick, I was worried about being grabbed up with an SPD. It's been at the perfect range, and we haven't seen Itabashi change up where he is standing. Let that be a negative sort of situation, because there's other things you have to worry about. Dash up, crouching light kick, crouching medium punch, you saw crouching medium kick as well. So like, when those moments do happen where he wants to dash up, he gets checked and challenged, and Itabashi cannot find the proper reads. And expanding level 3 again in round 2 kind of sucks. Like, you're like, cool, I get to go into round 3, I get to live, which I'd like to do, keep the game going, but I've spent a pivotal thing for my character in the final game. There are a lot of characters that are, I don't want to say bad, but they require you to kind of keep that bar for a little bit later on in the game. Like Manan, for example. Geef, for example, really benefits for having level 3 that third round. You see the lack of like damage that you can dump out, or having like fear. Like Haku's like, cool, level 3 is off, I can drive rush in, I can get aggressive. I'm not afraid of much. Maybe an SPD or 2 could come through, but overall, I'm fine if it's not level 3.
Yeah, it was a good call. I feel like for Itabashi to kind of spend it in that moment, but I just wish it would have been in a later round. I agree with you. That would have been something to utilize in case Kakeru wanted to be a little bit more aggressive with his approach, like the drive rush as well. Because you saw what he did, right? He did drive rush, steady light kick to bait out something, and something else other than a super art, whether it's like a wake up super art or wake up level 2, etc. I think he would have been just fine. But yeah, not for level 3. And yeah, it wasn't a good look, sure, and I think that could have been to the benefit more so of Kakeru's planning. I think him getting rid of the level 3 would have been just fine. Like, maybe he thought to himself, oh yeah, I'm going to be losing this match, or losing this round specifically. Let me see what I can do to kind of get the resource game in my favor, right? I have to check what the life difference was between the two at the moment. Again, Kakeru always playing to win, right? He's always playing to ensure the tables are in his favor round after round, whether it's the resource game between like the drive gauge and the life bar and the super art has always been so well calculated. Itabashi, he's a player of heart. You know what I mean? Like, he's got wrong reads of emotions sometimes.
And those reasons sometimes work out for the benefit. We've seen it happen in tournaments, getting the top spots and things like that, but sometimes it's led to his demise, especially if you understand that's the way he wants to play, where maybe he should have taken that damage, or it would have led into more drive gauge, right? Like, those are things that could have helped out. Drive reversal this time after that stand light kick, did not want whatever came after that, whether it been Siberian Express or otherwise. Like that early defense from the side of Kakeru.
Patience in both ends too. The neutral jump again, paying off tenfold. I think there's a lot of extensive normals that Zangief gets to throw out to stop him. That's been a really valid strategy. I've really been enjoying Itazan going to that well multiple times over. But that's going to be a little bit short-sighted now as Kakeru gets to fully take advantage of the bomb. Up until this point, not only a diplomat, but an expert in bomb defusal.
1-2 is on the way here. Itazan just needs like one good OD SPD or a punish counter. Not enough. I lied. OD probably would have killed, but still, we're right back in. SPD again. You too close to me 2 times right now. Itabashi putting around, getting a little bit better about these reads and where he can jump in and land with this character.
Utilizing the medium kicks again in the range where Zangief won't have a lot of chances to kind of whiff punish that normal. It's very difficult to, at least. When I got to talk to Yipes about this exact matchup, when he was playing off against Justin Wong's modern Zangief, he talked to me about it, saying, you know what, medium kick, that's going to be the way to set up your wall against Zangief. That's going to be your harassment button, as he still likes to put it. But every so often, that Arbor comes out to play. Itazan getting the big SPD this time. Once more to equalize the damage, if not get that slight lead.
The OD actually catches the recovery. Punish counter bomb on. Drive rush, scissor kick, the fake outs have not been working out though. Resets with the SPD. Driver one more. We anti-air into level 3. Instead, clutch, wake up, cycle crusher into the super. Not dead though. Itabashi with bar at the bottom. Off to utilize. A lot to think about. One touch scenario. Both hit that stand medium kick. Get the kill. We have stand light kick against that stand medium kick of Kaku. No! He tried to go for that same button. But Kaku was ready to switch it up. Flip mode.
That was actually kind of slick. Kaku with the sweep catching the drive rush. Idazan really has to reconsider. Some of these neutral jumps again have been paying off. The counter hit. I don't know what that was. Down forward heavy punch. I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know what he even thought about pressing after landing that initial hit.
Carry SPD. Drop cage damage. Less this season, but definitely adds up. Medium for a medium, but mine's better. That stand medium kick is doing a lot of the work, backpacking this character, this matchup right now. Whip punish, yes sir. Ready gets that stand fierce. 2 SETI, hitting with that cycle punisher. And again, Kakeru switches it up. It's only been a few buttons here from Idazan. It's been many more from Kakeru. One more touch, burnout, may not matter. It's still a one touch on our stand fierce. A crouching kick.
Nah, you know what? I don't even think he had enough health in his life parts to even absorb a hit into like heavy punch, right? I think the idea was for Idazan to maybe try to use Fierce as a way to kind of like get a big counter hit and also like send Bison backwards. But yeah, I really don't think he had enough life in the tank to do it. 2 games to 0. Kakeru in the lead, does get the forward throw. Overhead does get parried. Again, the attempts for multiple parries. Idazan still manages to thread the needle with the SPD.
Idazan just pensive. But putting up that set fierce as you mentioned. We've already seen him in whip punish, low life, maybe not working out. From Kakeru with a medium, stand fierce, block it out, reversal button. Kakeru harassing with the character that did get buffed to normals. Heavy kick does land. We switched it up again. He backed up, had a heavy kick now, a punish counter against the stand medium. Perfect parry back throw. No, SPD instead. Either way, the bomb is off. Shirt's clean. That's clean too for the jump done, but not damage.
And that's gonna be putting himself at match point is Kakeru. I gotta say, man, a lot hasn't really been flying in success for Idazan. He's been getting molly whopped and also getting checked off of the drive rush. The bomb gonna be exploding real soon. The overhead doesn't get checked, but it wasn't gonna be within time to get a combo. The big chops coming in now from Idazan. Has to get past this wall of normals once more.
Swings again, back in the corner. And that bar at the bottom, we've seen this movie before where you spend too much bar, you don't have it in the 3rd round. Kakeru, very confident. You don't want to say fierces like that, you are very confident in your neutral 19 frame startup. However, the plus frames are going and flowing right now. One more touch, that level 3. Stand fierce for the knockdown, drive rush up. Anti-air the crouch fierce. Scissor kick. One more touch. Don't jump, and OD Cycle Crusher in the level 3 will kill. Actually, just by itself, that'll kill.
The drive-by to execute Idazan. 3 games straight. Now he gets the sleep he deserves. That's Fukushima IBUSHIGIN walking away with 30 points under their belt. And Detonatio FocusMe still running Ruckshop at the bottom with only 45 points to their name. You can see the distress on the rest of the teammates. Even Machibo, he's so far back. He's so far detached. He's like, man, were my points in vain? I don't know.
Gone. All that hard work and effort in that matchup depleted. I mean, 10 points definitely helps out, but as we get further in the season, it's going to get even harder and harder to amass more as we switch it up, hit the round robin again, and get the away and home side switched up. So and this didn't even matter. What am I talking about? The away side won. Like, and this is, I feel like it's becoming even more and more of a thing. The away side winning and having a strategy it doesn't matter. Then they're like, whatever you put up, we're ready for. Whatever we put up, we're ready for too. Doesn't matter where we're at. So Kosa not being able to fight didn't even matter. I thought he would show up at least to fight some of the ad play, but Macho was just fine. But just going back to Itazan, I've never seen that matchup operate like that. Usually there's a lot more dominance from the Gi player. They're able to find more of those stand fierces. They're able to take advantage of their normals in close to mid-range. But you saw Kaku effectively, as soon as he saw the stand medium come out too much, he was like, let me backdash heavy kick. Let me show something different. It's like Rashid doing heavy kick, getting a punish counter. Like, fantastic ideation in terms of mid-range and close range.
It's so tough. It's really kind of tough for Itazan to kind of like put up that wall or the counter against the wall, right? I think with how active he usually is, he was rather intimidated with the spacing that Kakudu was presenting. I think like Kakudu has done a really great job of finding some of these significant whiff punishes against some of the mediums and even showed that prowess towards the end of that set. I think like towards game 2, like his W for getting game 2 was off of a whiff punish going into a low medium kick against Zangief's normal. So I think about it this way. Like, I think about the way that Meta RD plays Bison and how he's like always moving forward, like hit or block, whatever. He's gonna keep like creating those awkward tensions in those spaces, moving forward. Like if he blocks something, sure he's losing on the drive gauge, whatever. But he's still moving forward and then crunching like and encroaching on your space to force you to move back. I think that was the biggest thing for Itabashi. Like as soon as he was not able to establish the estate and found himself in the corner, he was doing himself a disservice. There was nothing else he could really do to get out of that corner, right? Maybe perfect parry, but that's even yielding higher risk than most, right? I'd much rather see him move forward and try to like perfect parry, move forward, and just like walk in and block it out.
Actually, yeah, like, when you'd play against like fireballs, play against buttons. Like honestly, walk forward, block it out. Every so often, maybe tap and parry every so often just to see what the intentions are, also to showcase and do something different on defense. But I'd like to see that because then you would enforce more of an interaction, like a throw game possibly. But even at the very end, what I liked is that we saw like the health bar dwindle down so much that the options were so limited. You couldn't even see the neutral jump. So like, he stayed grounded, and then you saw Kaku say, "Okay, if you're grounded, I'll just try first throw." Like easy work. It just felt like the wall you would see from a very confident Bison player, someone like Kakudu, really put Itazan off his game, and you have the normals as we all know. You get so much reward on damage now, get the combos now, get so much drive gauge, you take so much drive gauge away. But Kakudu denied that so continuously outside the distance, resetting to different options when other options were shown. And then, as you mentioned, as Yags has said, stand medium kick, the GOAT in this matchup. Over and over again, building up damage. Half his health taken away in one of the matches from one button.
Truly.
It's good.
Very impressive play coming in from the captain too to end it all out. I don't know if Kakudu had like the exact placements that he wanted. I don't think he's had the exact points that he was looking for. I should say. He didn't win like the tiebreaker last time, but other than that, man, I don't think he's had the showing that he wanted in regards to like, the points this far. I mean, actually, no, he's had a pretty solid win record. I will say that. But overall, winner interview, Kosa. We were practicing and training for today. Great worked out. Yanai said Kosa gave me a lot of advice for Ken. I really thank my teammates. Sasamo, unfortunate that I lost, but looking back, I wasn't playing that bad. I'll win next time. And of course, Kakudu. I was planning on playing with Akuma, but Bison looked better against Zangief. It's great that we won. Then, towards the end of it all, Good 8 squad is said to be the champion team this season. We are getting better. Y'all gotta be careful.
I like that energy. You see right here, you see it exemplified in the match. See, like things like that, the gambler would like to go for like a crouching light kick, into like an SP, too far out in the distance. Like, those are the options where other people might like use a crouching light punch right after, or might dash up instead. But instead, those risky things just don't work out against someone who's just an absolute wall of buttons. And again, outside that effective range, you can't jump. It would have been a second crusher. He's standing on the ground. Drive rush throw takes him down. And FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN taking it 30-10 over Detonation. FocusMe. They gotta focus up, man. I get it. You have the compositions, you have the characters, you have the strategy. It just has to come together a little bit more often. And even going up against Kakudu is kind of risky. Even though we want to see Itabashi, there's still a chance where JP could have came through. That's still not a good matchup for you. So like, it's still like that's still a dicey factor to come up with, and it could have been worse.
9対2ぐらいなんですか。
Could have been far worse. I totally agree with you. It could have been far worse. But the fact of the matter is,
このディビジョン S はアウェーが超有利です。
ポイント差にして、アウ
they
ェ
need
ー側
to straighten it out a
350
little
点
bit.
稼いでいるのに対
They
して、ホ
have
ーム
someone
側
like John
150点。
Takeuchi also,
アウェー有利です。
a character very, very strong to possibly take it out in the anger side. Would love to see him kind of like
F は違うんですよね。
get his wings for some of the biceps.
S はそういう結果になってるっていうだけで。
It's not out of the ordinary to see Detonation FocusMe come in from a very low position towards the second half. If anything, it has to be by next week. You no longer have the advantages of being on the home side. In fact, again, all these away teams have been netting so much more of the W's, right? If I'm not mistaken, it is currently 13 wins on the away side in comparison to home's 8. And then you can see it right here. Good 8 squad taking the big 30 against NagoyaNTPOJA 30. Shinobism Gaming scoring a very big W with 30 points to the name against Saishunkan Kumamoto, switching spots in the rankings. And then, of course, FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN getting 30 points against Detonation FocusMe, launching them upward and onward.
このディビジョン S の対象戦は難
Big
しいかな
shakeups coming through. I'd like to see some more shakeups here from Detonation FocusMe, as you
さあ
mentioned.
では順位
Not
表
a
に
lot
参
of
り
time
ま
to
す
grind out, but they are still starters, and they are great places and great places. That's how things are going down here. Good 8 squad, 120. FUKUSHIMA 95. OJA 85. Shinobism 80. Saishunkan Kumamoto 75. Detonation FocusMe on 45. The gap is widening, especially against Seoul. But Seoul also being the bottom is wild to see as well. Only 5 behind Shinobism, but they are grinding up closer to these top spots. It's anyone's game still, but only a few more months remain of Street Fighter League Japan action.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it because the point spread in comparison, I think, is going to be very similar to something like the Division F. Between the second and third placing, Good 8 squad, they are sailing through the competition right now. It's I think that was kind of expected in regards to like our anticipations of like the team synergy and also the characters and changing up for like season 2. So it's very interesting to see how the graph has been going thus far. You can see Good 8 squad pretty much maintaining their first position. And it's just so fun to watch, to see the consistency. Now they get, I think, into day number 5, I think they get the home positioning. And then that's when we get the final switch up. That's when we actually get to see them all go into the second phase of the round robin. That's pretty exciting to see. But what's even more exciting is the schedule coming up for Division F. That's going to be happening next week on the 18th. We got CAG Osaka going up against Hiroshima Team Ikuza, Team Barrel versus the Crazy Raccoons. And of course, we have FAV Gaming going up against Yogibo Reject. Belt FAV Gaming to be exact, excuse me, going up against Yogibo Reject.
They just want bangers, and I can't wait to see what happens when they bring some of these players. What they've learned from other places, from other CPTs, World Wars, whatever it may be, to Street Fighter League, we've seen how that buffs them up. And then after that, we're going to be seeing FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN versus Good 8 Squad, Detonation FocusMe versus Saishunkan Kumamoto, and of course, last but not least, NagoyaNTPOJA versus Shinobism Gaming, as mentioned, things are going to be switched up, home and away side, flipped. But on the script, we thought that home would be a lot better, would be that big advantage, but it has not been. The away side seems like it might have an advantage these past couple of episodes, if not the majority of our episodes. So I don't know what it is about the away side that is empowering people, but we'll see if it keeps the next part of the season.
I would love to see that. I want to see like the home team advantage actually come to fruition and actually be a proving point for some of these games. But as it is for Division S, that thing don't even matter, yo. But what does matter is the scheduling, right? What's really, really important coming up this weekend is Ultimate Fighting Arena. A big CPT stop happening in Paris, France, hence why there's a little bit of a void there in the gap, or sorry, in the schedule in between 13, 14, and 15. But as it is right now, again, be sure to lock in those calendars, be sure to lock in your time when it comes to next week. We have a little bit of a slight change up. Wednesday is going to be, I believe, Division F. That's going to be on the 18th, and then back to it on a Friday on the 20th for Division S. But when it comes to October, we have a lot of different change-ups in the schedule because of I do believe East Coast Throwdown, the Super Premiere in Singapore, then of course the Super Premiere Japan happening in November. And immediately after that one, I do believe it's Blink Respawn, November 8th, the weekend of the 8th. That's actually going to be insane,
Sign up ASAP for the Super Premiere that is coming up, as you mentioned, in November. Be watching from home, enjoying all the great action with all of you. Hit that QR code. Anyone can join the offline premieres and get your shot at winning that $1 million. Just simply win. And one of the strongest, if not strongest regions in terms of fighting games. But it'd be a great time to see all the competitors from around the world amass. I love offline for that reason. Seeing all the different styles coming together, and of course, that one person makes that battle, the battles that happen, even stronger, even better to watch. Everyone's just gunning for that top spot. There's only one person qualifying, but Warriors for Super Regions will have 2 by points and by placements. Next one is happening, looks like on the 6th of October, so tune in for that. They've been having a lot of watch parties for that, and last time we saw the seats were filled up for a watch party for a World Warrior. Other regions definitely have to keep up. I think that's super sick for everyone to come together and watch it, get some popcorn, and enjoy that great Street Fighter action.
Yeah, it's a nice time, man. Being able to like enjoy some good Street Fighter amongst like your friends, colleagues, fellow competitors. It is really like a different type of vibe. And I'm glad that Japan is kind of like setting the precedence of making it like a public spectacle out there. And I think it's really, really enjoyable to see it. It's also enjoyable to see offline in general coming back in full effect. We have the Super Premiere in Singapore that's going to be happening the week after East Coast Throwdown. Be sure to sign up now. Especially if you're in that area and you happen to be catching the Western English broadcast. I think it's a really, really great time to meet up with a lot of the players over there and really like get yourself into Capcom Cup via this premiere. So with that in mind, again, this is exactly why we're going to have these schedules, these little, I guess, little breaks in between of Street Fighter League Japan, because a lot of the players will be traveling out for sure to the Singapore premiere. And of course, they're going to be traveling to Paris, France for UFA. We just mentioned it happening this weekend. Yo, I am so excited. I am truly excited to see all of this come to fruition, because UFA always holding out like banger matches after banger matches. Even last year when we got to see the matchup over in Paris, France, it was so hotly contested, but I couldn't even sleep properly.
It'll be a great time. Make sure you tune into UFA. But that ends today for Street Fighter League play. Thank you everybody for watching and enjoying this great action. But hey, stay safe, and we will see you in the streets. Peace.
はい、ぜひこちらの大会も、皆さんチェックしてください。はい。
それではストリートファイターリーグプロ JP 2024、本日はディビジョン S の第4節3試合をお届けいたしました。実況は私山と、解説はハメゴさんでお送りいたしました。この後は選手の音声入りの本日のハイライトをご覧いただいてお別れとさせていただきます。それではディビジョン F の第4節でまたお会いいたしましょう。さよなら。
さよなら。大谷の合気戦に注目ですね。
またしてもこの局面が来た大谷。しかし今回はドライブゲージがある。ラッシュきたー。ここ一番初の選択肢。ラッシュきたー。
マジかマジか。
ういやる
マジか。
不損。
大谷なんで毎回こういう負け方な。
投げギリギリのこの体力だ。
さあちょっとアップで。
さあそしている。さらに強形派生最大のルート。ビビルにサイコクラッシャー、両手を上げた KB。まだこのリーグは終わらない。素晴らしいストレート撃。
終わってたよ。バンチ
終わった。
さあそしている。さらに強形派生最大のルート。
人呼びのバン。
この波動を見せつつ踏み込むという卓もできる状況だが。
もうちょい波動打てないですよこれ。
うわー見ていた。アンリミテッドサイコクラッシャー。
これね、奥義ね。
打ち砕くこの一発。
打てんすよね。
ああ、しかもそっち
と思います。
いや早すぎない。反応早すぎない。
ナイス
ナイス。
中継ラッシュカウンターしたら伸ばしたらストームで倒しきりに見えるが。よー打撃タク。これは決まり手山口。
いいよいいよ。春国だけ。オッケーナイス。頼む頼む頼む。オッケーナイス。ナイス。 さすが。
でかーい。ジョニーとしたもう守れるような体力があまりない。カウンター
ノーラッシュで伸ばして SS がたまると。
SA1 だ。残るか。それでも十分素直な投げ。
ただ、おー、やったー。すごい。20がいい。20がいいよ。
強すぎた。
いやー、でけえ。
これそうなる厳しいが、あまり読み勝っている。これは削りが見える。オーディ引っ張っての SA1 サイコストーム。
ナイス。いや、お疲れさすが。ごめん。ありがとう。い
や、よかった。
トータルよかったよ。いや、よかったです。本当うまかった。いやー、これはすげえな。
めっちゃ減ります。
どこまで減るか。
しかも置き攻めが強力。前ダッシュから攻められる。なるほど。
D リバ投げ圏内まで持っていって、今度は上から。
いいね。うまいよ。
おし
何いいことだ。
めっちゃよかった。
投げ。これ以上は耐えられない。もう一度勇気を持ってパリオスが展開を早くしていく。
ナイス。
ありがとうございます。危ねえ。
じわじわと。
ほら頑張った。マジで申し訳。
読みない。
SC が警戒ですね。2300以上は体力ありそうだが。
投げ。ここで緩急。
体力ありそうだが。
うわ。
早い。
ここで緩急。
マジか。
だからさ、
強すぎでしょ。
強いんだって毎度。でもね、これはすごいね。いや、これはすごい。
すごい。
わからない。
レガーでも